have to agree with you. I mean, some members of SSG and maybe Sentinels could be arguably in that conversation, maybe Legend. But I mean, these are the top 8.
These are your top 8 players, your top 2 teams, but only one win it all. $100,000 richer will each individual be if they're able to take the throne as we hop on board here with the 2-time Formal.
Formal looking to further cement his legacy as the FPS god of the ages. A second world title would do so much for his resume that's already insane. We do see an early camo in the hands of FaZe Clan.
Snakebite looking to play patient, calm, cool, and collected here. Only gathering intel, not doing any damage. He's not even going to shoot Trippy. But he is going to let his teammates know. You can bet that. As Lucid there makes a little bit of a play away from the oddball. Snakebite goes right through it, and he takes Trippy down.
Not only does he take him down, but he takes no damage in the process. Not even a melee trade. Able to continually play aggressive here. He wants to kill the shock rifle player. Formal, he's going to take that shock rifle for himself, drop the ball for his teammate. Great early start for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, it's OpTic with the score and the lead, but that's fool's gold. That should erase itself here, as it does. 7-all. FaZe and OpTic here, tied early. Snakebite looking to lock down that gold location with the shock rifle. Lucid down to low shields. Snakebite only needing a body shot to clean him up, but he doesn't get it.
Lucid playing pretty tricky there with his movement, making it that much more difficult for Snakebite to land the shot. He does get the trade on Formal. So now it is FaZe Clan with the shock rifle and the oddball.
FaZe doubling on that lead. 17 and rolling now. They've done a great job to gain early possession of that sandbox. Shock rifle goes down. Grapple as well. Talk about a kit being there at the bottom goal location. Almost becomes a power position on the map because of how valuable those 2 items are.
Absolutely. There was 3 dead on both sides. Formal last remaining player on OpTic. Last remaining player on FaZe Clan. He's trying to take some space on the long haul, trying to get his teammates to spawn a little bit closer to gold. Formal too smart though, rotating it away from gold, expecting that play out of FaZe Clan. Both these teams kind of predicting what each other want to do.
Formal did such a great job here, minimizing his damage with that G-slide grapple hook combination, now turning it into a double kill, potential triple. Nonetheless, 3 will go down, and that triple earns OpTic a camo as well, and if Trippy can stay alive with it, that could be huge. He does. Massive play there.
Not only does he take it, but he's also moving quickly to C plat. This is intentional to force the last spawners on FaZe to spawn deeper into gold. This is going to lessen the possible spawn locations of the other team, which makes their team have a lot easier time playing defense here. Also get the ball all the way into the C silo. Elect to play it early here. Interesting to note. I think it's because Lucid is already lurking in gold pipes here.
And this could be exactly what we talked about at the beginning, where you reset that oddball, but nobody goes down for OpTic. You give it right back to FaZe. An uncontested error early, you could argue, for OpTic Gaming.
Unforced error, absolutely. I think they could have held that ball a little bit longer before playing it off the side of the map.
I don't even think they needed to play it, Eli, to make an argument.
Right. I mean, not until you start losing numbers, it doesn't really make sense. You can just keep taking up time. Forcing the other team to push into you also increases the odds that your team spawns next to the new oddball. You're still paying for it, having to fight for mid-map here.
Despite that, though, OpTic still retains a 6-second lead in this highly contested start to the grand finals. Snakebite with a few shots in his back. He's going to look to sneak away, but he's not going to have a chance. Lucid with the assist, going to make sure he goes down. Takes down Frosty. I believe he had the shock too, so massive takedown. Almost feels like a 2-for-1 there.
Very interesting that they knew that player died with the shock rifle in pipes, but didn't feel the need to go for it. They know that the despawn timer is extremely fast in this game. If there's no players near that shock rifle, it despawns in 7 seconds. It's very fast. So they probably understand that shock rifle despawn. They're taking note of that, and they're going to be ready for the new shock rifle about a minute after that.
Royal 1, the coach for FaZe, timing that shock rifle. OpTic Gaming, the coach of the year, Lunchbox, timing it for them. You see Lucid here, the MVP, reigning MVP of Season 1. Looking to retain another World Championship, looking for back-to-back finishes and back-to-back kills as he approaches 2 on the back of C. FaZe with the hold there, and OpTic APG should just reset it here. Now that is a well-timed reset. Great play there. Heads up, APG.
Got as much ball time as he possibly could before having to throw it out. Going to reset the situation, but it's FaZe Clan able to get the ball early. I have to imagine they used the grapple that got into the A side very quickly.
World 2's positioning is so important here. Because of that, he forced those long haul spawns that are so disadvantageous on this map recharge. Because of it, FaZe Clan are able to secure that reset and get closer and closer to tying this one up.
OpTic, though, so good at this situation. Look how efficiently they're taking space. Lucid goes straight into gold pipes, gets a kill of his own. That's going to open the door for OpTic to push through the top catwalk. They're already inside of A. They've broken all the way deep into the setup, and it only took them one push, but FaZe Clan able to stop it short. An interesting play from Frosty here. He's going here specifically to let OpTic spawn back in A because he saw his teammates rotated the ball to gold. Wants to kind of get control of C to open up the possibility to rotate it to C later.
I don't think Frosty knew Lucid, though, was at the back of C, as he did force those A spawns, but Lucid had the back of Frosty. Now Renegade has the shock rifle back in his hands, but not for long, as APG earns the double kill, and he hands off that shocker to Trippy.
You can hear the crowd choosing their sides here. So many FaZe Clans fans in attendance, so many OpTic fans in attendance. You're going to hear them roaring after this game. Even after this round, OpTic mounting a lead. Trippy with his shock rifle wants to stay alive. FaZe isn't going to let him.
We go down for OpTic Gaming, and that's going to open up some map control. But look at APG here. Last player alive. He's earning more ball time, and this is going to turn into an advantageous position potentially for OpTic. Nonetheless, I'd say this trade 3v3 is huge for them as they had 3 down, but still continue to score with the heads-up play again from APG.
Formal, though, found himself in a precarious spot, ends up dying. All of these deaths are very staggered. Every single one was staggered. OpTic, the first spawner, he's going to have a long time before Trippy and Lucid are up. If he goes down now, this could be an easy round victory for FaZe as they continue to stagger these spawns, so the OpTic push is never as strong as it could be.
91 to a rolling 84 for FaZe Clan. This one's so close, and it could come down to one final hold. Formal, one final potential camo in his suit. He's put it to good use with the double. Yes! Royal 2 and Renegade go down, and Formal could seal this round with that huge double kill.
It looked so bad for OpTic with the staggered spawns, but the only way to win when your spawns are staggered is somebody getting a crazy double kill like we just saw from Formal. Amazing stuff from OpTic.
Icing up here as FaZe Clan look primed to regain this lead at a crucial time. Less than 9 seconds needed for just about both of these two teams. It came down to that one final hold. Formal with the double kill secures round 1 for OpTic, and he's looking for more. Pushing up now with that MK sidekick, and the green wall continues to roar.
His first camo usually ends up getting burned after being highly contested. Can one of these teams actually survive with it?
Formal with that camo again. You do not want to let him run amok like he did previously to win that round 1. Renegade with the double shock rifle does a great job to shut down the push from OpTic Gaming, shut down the camo from Formal, as Trippy now is forced to reset.
Like the way Trippy played that whole situation, he recognized that he had a unique opportunity to perhaps kill a ball player on the side of FaZe if they went for it. Slowed them down just long enough and then immediately take space toward the A side. He's just pushing all the way in here to give his team more space to work with, and he's going to find a double kill while he does it.
Renegade maybe thought a few members of OpTic were weak there at the bottom of elevator, continued to press on despite the shots in the back from Trippy. Shocker goes down again for FaZe, and Trippy continues on his spree here, taking down Snakebite. Cross-map grenade there, looking to just get some damage, stop that potential push through the catwalk from blue to A. He's done a good job of that. Looking to stay alive here. On ball sitting precariously on the blue stair, or on the gold stairs. Wants to make sure he plays it out a little bit. Oh my God! Perfectly played process there from Trippy. Gets the oddball out just a little bit to play it safe, and then he takes down Renegade one better.
It's basically an insurance play is what I would like to call that. He throws the ball all the way out. In the off chance that he does die in that situation, it's going to be in a worse spot for FaZe to comfortably pick it up. He does get the kill anyways. Turns out the insurance wasn't needed, but it's always better to have insurance than to not have insurance, folks.
Noob combo, instant TTK almost there from Lucid as he quickly takes down Snakebite. Now has Renegade to deal with on the needles. Frosty and Renegade looking to push through and pinch, but no, Renegade goes down. Frosty does get that cleanup, a little bit delayed on the pinch. 2 down for OpTic, only 1 for FaZe. Lucid with another instant TTK noob combo kill. Popping off here, killing spree. Good for more.
So crucial that Camo's still down. You saw how he didn't just go straight for Camo. He actually cleared the space around it. Wanted to make sure it's safe. Also proccing this a bit late just in case he got schmelted. Had a teammate there that could have picked it up if he died immediately. So super efficient gameplay out of Lucid. This is what you want to see from last season's MVP.
Look at Lucid drawing in the bait, but no, he gets back smacked. Huge takedown there from FaZe Clan as They've been able to shut down that Camo twice for OpTic, but it's 2 possessions for OpTic that they've turned into 50 seconds of score here as they take a convincing lead in what could be a potential closeout round here for game 1.
In the pre-game, I talked about how Frosty has been so consequential for his team's success. This game, though, he's been getting shut down, and I think that's the reason OpTic has such a commanding lead so far in this game. Frosty needs to wake up and start doing more of what he's been doing all day if FaZe Clan's going to come back and win this game 1.
Oh, but Formal's got the kit. He's got exactly what you'd imagine Frosty would like to have in his hands, as he normally does, but instead it's in the hands here of Formal. Oddball close. He's going to draw those members in, lines up the reticle, takes Renegade down to 1 shot, pushes out, and takes down Royal 2 as well with the slip and slide.
Not only that, but the chain link extra damage on Renegade just before he died. That was about the best thing he possibly could have done during the nanosecond before his death. It's going to make it a little bit harder for FaZe to work out of this position with one less player, but Renegade said, I don't care how many teammates I have alive, I'm going to rip your face off with the shock rifle.
It feels like a play Renegade needed and FaZe needed even more, but no, he goes down shortly after. A 1v1 here. Frosty and Matt, the only players alive on the map right now. The cavalry's arriving shortly after.
Wow, Trippy found his way all the way to A so fast. He spawned in C and beelined it all the way to A. He wanted to get that outside angle while the rest of his team pushed through long haul. Great plays out of Frosty, but looks like OpTic able to rotate this to long haul, trying to keep the ball in the worst possible position for OpTic to get anything.
And Trippy goes down there, and Renegade retains possession of the oddball because of that heads-up play by Frosty previously on the batteries to throw it out deep into the back of B. Great heads-up play there by Frosty. Because of it, FaZe Clan have the oddball, and they're coming right back.
APG had full camo, ate a grenade, but recognized that no one was actually able to see him, so he still continued to play. Love that veteran awareness from APG. He doesn't have to take himself all the way out of the fight after getting grenaded if there's no member of FaZe there to even see him. Waits for the camo to reproc, gets another kill, taking some space here. If he can get another kill in A, his team could potentially hold the ball for even longer, but he is shut down.
OpTic doubling up on that lead now, 33 to a rolling 65. Lucid goes down, so that's going to give FaZe Clan an opportunity here to stop those seconds from ticking away as they look to take down more. Lucid goes down, Trippy does too, Formal does as well, and that's going to be a great push through gold here for FaZe, but you got to make sure they're able to retain this oddball. Another well-timed reset there to the bottom mid.
OpTic, in every instance that it looks like FaZe might break the setup, they say, hey, we've got the lead, let's just throw the ball to the middle and then fight. Worst case scenario, we lose this fight, they still can't get the ball. That's the objective efficiency you're looking for if you're in the grand finals of the World Championship.
Formal here with another shock rifle to work with. My goodness, it's been too much shock rifle control for the likes of OpTic Gaming, in particular Formal, but he's not going to make him pay for it. Shot goes down at the back of B, but like you said, Eli, with nobody there, I believe, to retain possession of it, that one's going to go back to the respawn screen. 60 seconds. We'll see our next shot.
Another early play ball decision by OpTic. Now, all the other play balls we've been talking about how great they are, that's one that I'm not sure.
It's the backseat reset that's not been as proficient.
Yeah, I feel like they could have waited a little bit longer, but I mean, as I say that, they're still getting lots of kills here. Just feels like they could have continued to hold that ball and forced FaZe to push all the way into the back of C, further away from the ball reset before you actually reset it. Instead, giving FaZe an opportunity to start accumulating some ball time here.
Yeah, OpTic did that in the previous round. FaZe didn't make him pay, though, as OpTic has that blue circle. Jotted down as Frosty takes down APG. FaZe has to make OpTic pay with that reset. OpTic gave the ball to FaZe Clan. What can they do with it?
And that would be a terrible way to lose this round if they're never able to regain control of the map. I'm going to look back at that early play ball from APG and wonder if maybe the play call was to hold it a bit longer. Frosty taking a great position here in the tower, knows enemies are spawning at C. He's just going to make their life difficult so his ball guy can live comfortably on the other side of the map. They do such a good job to kill the spawners. Renegade immediately leaving that position. They're intentionally opening the A spawns and trying to rotate this ball all the way to C so they can do the same thing back to OpTic.
What a regain here from Renegade. As FaZe Clan now has the lead in this game 1. Ooh. 10 seconds left to go. It comes down to one final defensive effort here from FaZe. Wow, they go 3 down. OpTic Gaming with 73 seconds. Could score a milk run to score game 1. Another shot goes to Formal. This is too many, Eli.
Formal has to have, he probably has the best BR in the game on any other day, but especially when it comes to playing in these grand finals throughout the weekend, this guy is just hitting all the important shots looked like Renegade could have possibly taken him down, but Formal takes Renegade down and another player to give OpTic back control. Just needs a couple more kills to close this round.
FaZe is sending Royal 2 and Snakebite to take down Formal. They do just that. Great execution, but don't get distracted. Oddball time for FaZe instead. 3 go down for OpTic Gaming, and this could be the final 8. 5 seconds now left, and that is going to do it. FaZe Clan are going to tie up this game. We got a 1-1 tie. We're going to a round 3. Game 1 is already going the distance.
Would have certainly predicted this if you asked me ahead of time between two amazing teams, but I'm still thinking back to that early play ball at C by OpTic. You really think they could have got 6 more seconds before they played it, and they ended up losing by 6 seconds.
That was the difference. We mentioned it in the pregame. Comes down to making the right decision to rotate and reset that oddball. That is the difference more often than not. Frosty going down, Formal looking to make sure Snakebite doesn't sneak away with that camo. And Trippy does a good job to make sure he cleans him up. Should retain possession of that camo. Shock rifle in the hands of Renegade. A little bit of collateral damage there. Takes down Trippy. Hit Formal, but the connection takes down Trippy instead. Interesting.
Yeah, Trippy must have been very weak for that shock ricochet effect to get the kill there. It doesn't. I think it only does as much damage as a single BR burst to the body. So Trippy must have been very weak, but Renegade gets a headshot right afterwards. Still has possession of this shock rifle. He's going to look to put it to work so they can accumulate more ball time.
Renegade doing his best Formal impersonation in this game 1. It's been all Formal with the shock rifle. Now back in the hands of Renegade. So he looks to do something with it. Lots of tabs on your feed. Frosty, you can sense how important he feels those comms are. You can see why. As Renegade acts on the comms, takes down 2, has Lucid down to low shield, triple kill, crossfab, APG, don't peek.
You know
overkill.
You know he wanted that clip to show in the highlight reel to hit an overkill in the grand finals of the World Championship. I don't know if there's more dopamine available for that one.
I'm surprised APG even gave him a chance, man. I was clinching.
Right, yeah. But
there you go down now.
APG, he said, I might be able to just kill this guy and stop this momentum early.
Got to watch that bait grenade on the top of bat ledge. As FaZe does a good job of that. Formal now continuing this battle with Renegade from a different location. Royal 2 looks to clean it up though. Great bait and switch there at a long distance from FaZe Clan.
OpTic looked to be in good control of that situation, but FaZe just played so perfectly off of their spawns that they're able to shut it down and get 4 dead. Had a good time to do so with this camo coming up. Not actually going for it just yet, though. They're going to bait it out, see if they can get a kill before they go for the camo.
Look at Royal 2's recognition here. He knew that the camo was bait. Instead, he's going to bait OpTic Gaming. Uno reversal card almost on 2, but instead it's APG making it out with that camo.
Love the decision-making from Royal 2 there. He said, if I go for this camo, it's probably 50-50 that I survive. Probably very low chance that I even proc the camo and survive longer than that. I can just sit here and wait. I know they're going to take this route to try to get the camo for themselves. If I can kill them now, we might be able to get over the camo, but it doesn't pay off this time. Still a great decision.
90 seconds off the regulation clock, and it's 43 seconds for FaZe, only 12 for OpTic Gaming. So ever since that first round, that second blunder, I would really say, from OpTic, that's been the catalyst that let FaZe Clan back in it. We asked what they would do with it, and they've done a lot. Continuing to run away from this OpTic Gaming squad in what feels like should have already been a 1-0 win for them.
I mean, even in that round 2, OpTic had a significant lead throughout it. Could have closed the second game out. They looked to be the stronger team, but FaZe showing you can never, ever count this team out.
Now, there's still plenty of time on the clock, so because of that, expect to see FaZe Clan continue to play for score. OpTic fans sensing that OpTic needs a little juice here to get to start their chant.
Formal. The shock rifle, 3 more bursts left in it. Getting a single kill with this could be huge for OpTic, but they're not going to make it easy to do so. Look at the patience. Knows his teammate's right there. Doesn't need to peek. Decides to peek and kill the next guy that's trying to kill his teammate.
Oh!
And another double kill from Formal.
How quick was Formal to snap on that second opponent as he had some distraction at his back. He had damage on his back as well. Such poise. You expect that, though, from Formal as we hop on board here with Trippy. Looking to make sure FaZe Clan can't get any more time. All the while, OpTic Gaming has done a great job to make it just a 9-second game.
See Trippy shooting the plasma grenade there. He was anticipating the next member of FaZe to perhaps G-slide out into the engagement. If they had done that, that plasma shot would have at least taken that player to no shields. Great defensive decision and great decision for him to go ahead and play the ball. Looks like OpTic knew, hey, we're currently in gold, so we might be able to get the new ball. They're having to continually fight for this space as FaZe is here as well.
And this should give long haul spawns to OpTic Gaming as we see APG right there on the long haul. Lucid was that anchor point to stay alive on gold and potentially give his teammates spawns close, but he goes down and now APG has to fight a fight by himself. Royal 2 going to take him down rather easily with the hands. Formal though trading out with Snakebite. Frosty backsmacking him. As Royal 2 takes position on the bat ledge, has a chance to pinch here with the likes of Renegade, but he wants the shock instead.
Yeah, shock rifle going to be hotly contested. Now going to fall in the hands of Lucid for just a microsecond before Snakebite takes him out and says, actually, I'd rather have that in my hands. Thank you. But this is proven to be the cursed shock rifle. Everyone that picks it up is dying very quickly. Let's see which team can actually get out with the oddball, though.
There's another one of those mini resets there from APG and OpTic Gaming, as they need numbers here before they start to gather more numbers on that scoreboard. APG with a sticky grenade out to cover his tracks with another one, but it's unnecessary. FaZe does not push through. It's a delayed push. Frosty does a great job to let those sticky grenades explode on the map, doing no damage before they continue to re-engage.
APG playing so tricky, just trying to fill any space that his team possibly needs. That's what he's so good at and why he's such an important cornerstone of this OpTic roster. Recognizing Trippy can push with him through the long haul. They're going to find this player, but they both get taken down due to some great heads-up awareness on the side of FaZe Clan.
Massive play there from FaZe as OpTic had just regained the lead, only by 6 seconds, but that was the difference in the last round, Eli. So every second counts, every second matters, and every life matters too, as OpTic Gaming take down 2 of FaZe's. Frosty, though, little consolation prize, has that Camo to work with. He takes down Lucid. On-ball carrier is APG. Frosty. Another mini reset from OpTic, and I wonder if Frosty almost expected that. Probably not, though. OpTic does a great job to shut it down.
That was another crucial double kill from Formal. Seems like every time his team looks like they might be out of it, he's just hitting the clutchest double kill to keep his team in it. This guy's will to win is greater than just about anyone else. He's got 30 kills and 23 assists in this game in 65 seconds of oddball time. Looking like the MVP so far.
This is a perfect reset. OpTic are going to get gold spawns. Watch this. Maybe. Now they're going to get back A spawns. Interesting enough. Frosty pushed up far enough on that B batteries to force A spawns for OpTic. That was huge to make sure that FaZe had some presence on the gold side to get that oddball reset right off the rip as they go down by more than 20 seconds, but come right back.
Yeah, this is not the guy you want to see with the shock rifle, especially how he's been playing all weekend long. In my opinion, one of the hottest players in the tournament for sure.
Frosty now with that shock rifle, missing 2 previous shots, a third now, and he needs to line it up. Gets the body shot on APG, cleans him up for the headshot killing spree. No shock rifle left, so that's going to be another important factor. But Eli, we might not even see it with 30 to go.
Yeah, it does run out of ammo. Probably not going to see it. OpTic just needs 5 more seconds, but I don't think they're going to be able to get it.
It's a fumble. At the last second, OpTic Gaming only needing 3, but they go 3 down. And FaZe has the position to earn the reset and to potentially win game 1.
Wow, Renegade, we talk about his slaying prowess, but he had the awareness to just drop straight to batteries and get the new ball off of his spawn point. OpTic's going to have to push in and kill Frosty now, who has the oddball. Lucid grabbing the camo is going to make this very easy. That might be the round right there.
And it will, in fact, as OpTic Gaming, despite a little bit of wobble, right, if you're walking the tightrope, which is what it feels like you're doing competing out here in the grand finals, they got a little uneven, got a little unsteady. But they right the ship at an important time to take the lead in this series. So important to get off on the right foot, and just like in a game, in the series, you want to make the other team chase as well, and that's exactly what OpTic has done by earning that game 1 win as we head to Solitude Slayer game 2.
What I love to see from OpTic there was, yes, they made a few early play ball mistakes that game, but they still won. If they can make mistakes and still win games against FaZe Clan,
yep,
they look like my favorites to win the tournament. And I'd like them to just stop making mistakes, because that would probably make their chances even greater, which I think they did ultimately correct the mistake that last time they played ball. It was probably the best time to do so, but FaZe Clan just happened to be in the perfect position to make it that much harder for the next play. Going into Solitude, I feel like Solitude Slayer could go either way, but let's take a look at some of these highlights. What stands out to you from these highlights here?
There's a shock rifle control for me, Eli, especially on a team like FaZe. Like you said, anybody. I asked you earlier who could pop off with something like the snipe. You said anybody on FaZe could, and I agree entirely. The fact that we didn't see anybody, though, from FaZe have the shock rifle for what felt like 5, 10, maybe even 12 minutes straight, where it was not only all OpTic, it was all formal. And talk about win conditions. Formal with the shock, formal with the snipe in his hand. He's one of the most goated snipers, regardless of what first-person shooters he's playing. I don't care if it's Call of Duty, Destiny 2, Halo, formal, hits,
Lego Star Wars. I mean, the guy
Star Wars Battlefront doesn't matter.
If he's playing Lego Star Wars, he's probably still hitting snipe headshots. I mean, this guy is absolutely insane. Doesn't matter what video game he picks up, but we're gonna have to continue to play this way. I know that's not the last time we're gonna see FaZe win. For this to be a 4-0 Grand Finals would blow my mind. I don't think that's even possible with the way FaZe has been playing. Going to have to keep making good decisions every step of the way if they're going to close this one out.
I want to thank you guys again for tuning in over here on LBT Halo, the community's version of the Grand Finals, if you will. Appreciate you guys tuning in with us. Make sure you got the Halo stream tabbed up as well. So many people tuning in to watch this epic Grand Finals. Took a look at the directory earlier, Eli. 117,000 viewers, man. Feels like Halo's continues to mount that comeback.
Want the magic Master Chief number 117,000. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Definitely on an upswing for Halo in general. If you're watching the LVT broadcast to hear us right now, we already know you're a real one. We know you're part of the community. You guys have been watching us all season long. We definitely appreciate it. Appreciate the support. You're choosing to watch this stream instead of the main one, which obviously is probably pretty fun too, but this is the community broadcast right here. We're here for you guys. You guys are here for us. We definitely appreciate it.
Game 2, Solitude. Talked a little earlier about the H5 kids in this lobby, but I don't think it leans into FaZe's favor here. I think, honestly, this could be a great game type, game mode, map combination for OpTic instead, and I don't know, though. I guess FaZe would have more experience on Plaza, but I think from what we've seen here after a couple months of Plaza gameplay, it's a lot different, or Solitude gameplay, it's a lot different than Plaza. It plays a little different as well, so may or may not be an advantage here for FaZe as we hop on board here. Game 2, 1-0 lead here for OpTic Gaming, APG, and extended to 2.
So far, the meta on this game type has been control the snipe side of the map whenever possible. Besides that, just pay close attention to which spawns you're blocking and which ones you're opening up. If you have the opportunity to collapse on spawners, you can, but if you have an early lead, you can also just kind of set up and let the other team come to you. That is the meta in Team Slayer right now, that if you have the lead, you don't necessarily have to push.
I don't know, that doesn't seem normally.
This is not normally?
I don't know if... Okay,
I don't think it was a lag out. Could have just been a server glitch, perhaps just for the observer. They are playing on here.
All right, good to know. So we are not having a reset. We're going to continue rolling along here with Trippy on your screen. Big game, Trippy, is what they call him. He's having a good start here, sitting at 2-1. Didn't extend that. Good help, though. Sliding out is Royal 2. Trippy recognizing the push from the right and the flank from the left takes down Renegade. That's a good trade.
Absolutely. Anytime you take down Renegade is probably a good play. Right here, it looks like Royal 2 had the sniper, but it was out of ammo. Or sorry, APG had the sniper, but it was out of ammo, so when Royal 2 takes him down, there's nothing to pick up. Early lead for OpTic. Not great positioning for Royal 2 here. He's going to try to stay alive, but based on those grenades, I think OpTic knows he's here.
Snakebite pinging 3 times in the feed, and again, that means the emphasis is on the call-out. Now you sense it and see it from FaZe as they take down 3. Snakebite saw something, he called for it, and FaZe answered.
And as we see them get these kills, they continue to roll through. They know the positioning their teammates are at is probably going to force a tram spawn, so they just continue to hold forward into that area. If they can push them out from this side, it's very likely the other members of FaZe could kill them on the other side, but OpTic's playing very well out of this situation. They're actually coming back as a duo to fight with full force on this side, and they take down Royal 2 in a very disadvantageous situation.
It's bait and switch versus bait and switch here. It's a delayed bait, though, and switch from Snakebite as he eventually trades out. Renegade ultimately makes sure that the entire situation trades out 2-2. OpTic Gaming squeak away that 1-kill lead.
Game's going to slow down just a tad here. Both teams spreading out on opposite ends of the map. They're going to try to find some angles here, deal some damage. They probably very likely expect Renegade to be here. As you see APG get a shot in him there. because he gets shot, Renegade's going to reposition. Always so important in Halo Infinite. If you get located, you know you got called out, you should probably go somewhere else. So if they look in that same spot, you're not there anymore. Royal 2 going to protect Renegade here from getting killed, and we haven't seen a kill in a while.
Great job staying alive by Renegade, and it's oh so important with that sniper rifle up now. Renegade backs up, grabs it, has the comm from his coach Royal 1, and looking to see Renegade here go to work.
It's the body shot that's going to take that player out of the play for at least 6 seconds while he waits for his shields to come back. Royal 2 taking a position to maybe try to finish that kill, recognizes it's a bit optimistic. He's going to back up, take the position that Renegade left behind so that Renegade can push up and maybe find a cheeky angle with the sniper.
Yeah, this could be an unexpected angle. Oftentimes, you grab that fresh sniper, you take it right to the top of the snipe tower. And I think that's exactly what OpTic Formal expected there. That's what all of OpTic expected. It's not till now that they know Renegade is close. Gonna push up on that A yard, playing aggressively with the snipe here. I like it.
That was definitely intentional. Renegade said, hey, I'm going to take this snipe to blue. Go ahead and go S3 for me, Royal 2. And that's why he took that angle. The art of deception, I've talked about it before, just deceiving your opponent. Don't be in the same spot you were the last time they checked. You're going to more often find these snipes that you absolutely need to win these games.
So for OpTic, they see Royal 2 at top snipe, think he's probably got the snipe. Then Renegade at the left side of Cafe takes the face of Formal. That's why they have that 3-kill lead now. QT still sitting up at the top of mid. I don't think it's been picked up at all this game, as it does actually just now.
Yeah, and you saw that. Renegade fired a shot with the sniper from the snipe area, immediately repositions because he knows, he's imagining the comms of the side of OpTic. Says they just called out, Renegade has the sniper at snipe. I don't want to be there anymore if I'm Renegade. And tries to find another spot, isn't able to hit the shot though on Formal.
Look at that protection though. Look at that play from Renegade.
Snakebite.
Snakebite. Great execution of the bait and switch in the sense that they didn't get a kill from it, but they both stayed alive. APG had those two players weak, wasn't able to finish it off. Trippy, though, finishes off Frosty. Renegade looking to make sure he cleans him up, trades that out ultimately, but no, Trippy looks like he's going to get away.
Trippy's so slippery at the bottom of the map. Even though he was in a pretty bad spot, one would argue, he somehow gets away with his life. His two teammates push into the spot he left behind and kill that player. Now that they have one dead, now 2 dead on their team, though, they're going to play it a bit cautiously, but every single time these teams get a kill, they recognize they have to start taking space or items before that player respawns.
FaZe have maintained this 3-kill lead for a couple minutes, though. OpTic Gaming have kept it within 1 possession. 1 team wipe could bring them right back in it, but it's got to start right here. It's got to start with the Season 1 MVP, that bandit in his hand. Sniper up at 20, looking to push up on the snipe tower on Frosty, but he's getting some shots in the back. But Lucid knows he has support. That's why he doesn't turn back to look at the Cafe side. That's the job for APG and Formal to do.
Lucid not in the best hiding spot, to be honest, but he somehow does catch this player off guard, but that's 4 dead for OpTic. It's going to extend the lead for FaZe up to 7 at the halfway mark. That
just ballooned the lead, Eli, in a moment where we talked about how 1 team wipe could bring OpTic right back. FaZe uses that 2 times. This lead, 3-7 now. Frosty looking to build on it. Has a few more shots loaded in the chamber. 6 in total to work with. OpTic Gaming fans try to bring back their team, but even they can't help but let out a little ooh and ah after that headshot from Frosty.
Once again, the sniper going to try to find another angle. But expect Frosty to move pretty far from this spot after he gets spotted out. Loop not the best place to snipe from. After getting 1 snipe, you have to imagine there's going to be somewhere better to go. Does try to find a spot from driveway, but it's going to reposition back to glass here. This spot right here does have a lot of good angles on the map. He's going to listen to his teammates and try to find an unsuspecting opponent to rip their face off here.
FaZe now with that 9th kill edge on OpTic Gaming, take a 3-possession lead going into the 30s, but OpTic crank it back down to 2. A full collective 2 team wipes needed now to come back, and they're starting to get it. Formal and Lucid in the feed, take down 2 from FaZe, and starting to sense a little bit of a comeback here.
Out of 3 shots, Frosty only able to land 1 body shot. The damage also not going to get followed up on. Probably wishes he got a bit more value out of that as the OpTic comeback starts mounting here.
OpTic have done a good job. -4 on that lead from 9 to 5. It's a 30-25 game. Formal looking to push up here on the snipe side. Got to watch over the top of snipe. Great use of that thruster there to disengage from any danger as he faces a little bit more from the cafe side. 2 on snipe, 2 on cafe. Formal with the low ground. How can he turn this disadvantageous positioning into a net positive here for OpTic? Going to sneak his way over to the cafe. He's not looking for a latte. He's looking for snake bite. Royal 2 there as well, but it's Frosty who wins that cheeky engagement instead.
It looked like multiple members of FaZe had to be shooting Formal there. He died very quickly before he could even round the corner. He was saving the thruster for later in the fight, expecting to live longer, but that trades hands. Formal also gets spawn killed here due to the great spawn awareness from FaZe Clan. They're going to grow the lead right back.
APG breaks Frosty's aim assist, but Frosty breaks his heart, takes him down. Snakebite now, looking to push up to the back of yard to collectively regroup with his FaZe teammates, but no, he gets taken down before going around the corner. That's going to give it a numbers edge here to OpTic Gaming, and they're looking to push on through with it. Only a 4-kill game.
Love the decision to place the portal right there at the top of the ledge. He can comfortably push aggressively here and then blink right out. And he's in a position where he can re-engage as his shield is coming back. Doesn't need to, though. APG finishes that fight. There's only 1 player left alive on FaZe Clan, and they've tied this up here at 34 apiece.
One of the better uses of QT you'll see here as Lucid earns the double. Has a few remnants left of that QT. Might see a little disengagement here as he goes down to low shields, as he does. That's one of the best QT plays we've seen all weekend. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't sexy, but it was very effective.
I mean, the main way to use it is to just survive when you're not supposed to. And, I mean, he did that twice at least during that fight. Also able to just harass opponents without the fear of dying with your get out of jail free card in your back pocket. It's now a 1-kill game in the side of FaZe Clan. OpTic knows where FaZe is likely to be. Lucid choosing to just kind of hold this angle in case a member does lift up. Both these teams so good at predicting based on the angles that they see certain enemies. What other complementary angles is that team going to go for afterwards? That's what we see Lucid trying to predict there as he takes a look at the snipe lift. He knows that's a great angle if the enemies have players in cafe.
It was once a 9-kill game. It's now down to 3 as Royal 2 extends that a little bit with that sniper rifle headshot. Takes down Formal. Lucid looks to fill that lane. To make sure that OpTic has that sniper to work with instead. I do believe it's a full one at that, coming up at the 2-minute mark, so plenty of shots to work with here for FaZe.
Sniper always so consequential no matter what map you're playing on. 3-kill lead, the biggest we've seen in recent times here. 1.5 minutes on the clock. This very well could go to time if both teams start playing slowly, but there's a push from OpTic that gets spotted out by Frosty, who's in the perfect position, but then Frosty gets spotted, so
Frosty thought he had a cleanup, but no, he had 3 members of OpTic Gaming waiting for him around the corner. Great team work there from OpTic as dwindled this lead down to 2 going into the 40s. We have a close game and a standoff.
Love the way that Royal 2 is choosing to play with this sniper. He knows that OpTic has to push in this situation with time against them. He's just going to gatekeep different angles that could get to him and his teammates, but the push from OpTic so powerful. They're coming in at every possible angle, and they get 4 dead to take the lead.
OpTic have the lead, and with that team wipe, OpTic have regained the lead, 42-41. FaZe Clan and Frosty looking to push up off their back foot, off the back wall of yard, but Lucid has something to say about it. No, he does not. Frosty has an answer instead.
The great collapse into the tram and yard side had its downside, though. It's because after that push, they're all stuck in tram and yard for themselves. So guess what? FaZe Clan just collapsed right back on, but it's just the same story again.
OpTic Gaming are either going to take a convincing lead in this grand finals with the winner's token in their back pocket, or FaZe will tie it up at 1, 45-44. They've got the lead by 1. Renegade looking to extend that, looking to dodge away from that grenade, but no, Lucid with the flank, Lucid with the double kill. Takes down 2, takes a 1-second lead with 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow. That's going to do it. Lucid shuts the door down on FaZe Clan and takes that 2-0 lead. Wow.
Electric play out of Lucid. Did not even hesitate. His teammates were throwing grenades into the yard. This man just held forward through the LR hallway, found 2 with the thrust pack, easily finishes them, even gets the last cherry on top, finishing Royal 2, the last member alive, just to make sure his team won that game.
Here it is, final play. Eli, break it down.
These 2 players trying to just stay alive. while getting grenaded, and Lucid right there is where he just pushed straight in through the long haul side, saw an opening and didn't hesitate, knew time was against him, had to make something happen during those last 10 seconds. You have to wonder, did FaZe play a little too passive in that situation? Could they have played out a little bit more so that this play wasn't so easy?
Well, watch this. Lucid has full recognition of the clock. I would argue even more so than FaZe Clan does. At least more awareness of the positioning as he gets the flank, gets 2, and then watch this. With the 1 kill lead, he's going to make sure he does damage here, but he doesn't engage. He actually backs off of that kill while still getting the kill. One of the best plays you'll ever see. MVP from Season 1 for a reason right there is Lucid. Wins Game 2.
He leads the charge with an 18-9 performance in a game that was only won by 1 kill, 49-46. Actually, I think it was 48-46. Yep, there we go. Look at our producer on top of it. And that reminded me so much of their winners bracket fight against one another. In the Game 2 that they played in that, it was 45-44 when time expired due to another clutch in-game on the side of OpTic. These guys are showing up in Slayers, and Slayers are the ones you got to win most. I mean, most of the time you're playing Slayer, it's one of the most important games in the series. So, I mean, if they keep winning every Slayer, I think they win this tournament.
Speaking of winning this tournament, this is a must-win for FaZe, Eli. I'm going to call it. I know we still saw 5 games left to go on our series layout, but coming from the lower bracket, you need to reset off of a reverse sweep. Talk about the energy exertion and just kind of run out of gas at the end. That could set up a situation for FaZe Clan where you got no juice left in the tank. Need to win this game. I think this is a must-win. You cannot give OpTic a 3-0 lead in the grand finals. Again, most importantly, with that token in their back pocket, Eli, and important to note, no team has ever won a grand finals in Halo Infinite from the lower bracket. Will FaZe do it this year? In the World Championship, no less? Let's find out.
Double kill.
Checking out some of these replays here. Lucid with that effective QT play. Again, we said it wasn't sexy. It was very effective, though, and that's rare. And important to note, Eli, too, that QT wasn't picked up until the halfway mark. So for something that was felt like a discarded toy in the playroom, you throw it away. Got too much dirt on it. You got a dog toy, right, that's a little too dirty. I throw those away if I'm at home. It's kind of what it looked like there. That was pretty impressive as OpTic Gaming played to perfection. And played that QT to perfection as well. That was the difference. Lucid got that double kill. It was a 2 kill. It was a 48-46 game. If you wanted to point to 2 kills outside of the double kill, ultimately that Lucid got at the end game, I don't know. Maybe there's too many double kills from Lucid to point out. They were all effective and all counted up towards this 2-kill win here in Game 2 as OpTic took a 2-0 series.
Let that be a lesson to you guys. If you're not sure how to use the QT in different situations, what Lucid did there that we were so, thrilled to see was during the collapse, OpTic knew that all of FaZe was in the tram and yard area. But if that's the case, they're probably all watching the same angle. So what Lucid does is before he even enters, he places the portal outside of that in a spot that could not be contested by FaZe if he was to go back to it. He pushes all the way in, gets a ton of damage before blinking out and wasting some of FaZe's resources. Then he completely re-engages as his shield comes back, gets another kill, blinks back to safety when he gets one shot again. Just essentially playing his life perfectly. He's doing max damage without dying. Ultimately, he goes +9 in a game where they win by 2 kills, so clearly the MVP of that game for sure.
Aquarius CTF setting up for our Game 3. Hard to tell which way this one's going to go, as I think this is going to give FaZe Clan a nice chance to take that bathroom break. They're actually just to our right, having a very serious conversation, knowing that they are still right here in it, but I think they realize, Eli, this is it. They got to win this game, otherwise. I used the words insurmountable when SSG went down. That's what this feels like here as well. And that's what OpTic Gaming can do to you. Almost bully you in a sense. Not through brute force, not through slays, but through perfect execution of the strategy, perfect timing. And that's what we've seen here from OpTic Gaming here so far.
They look poised. Every member of OpTic that I just looked at backstage here looked like they were just ready to close this thing out. Meanwhile, FaZe still conversating, trying to figure this out. What are we doing wrong? How can we beat these guys? How are they able to ice up in more situations? Right now, in Game 1, it was Formal that I saw hitting double kills in every spot that their team needed to get a double kill. Game 2, Lucid stepping up, getting those double kills when it mattered most. you can't really shut down any member of OpTic. APG's just doing dirty work. He's making space for his 3 superstar teammates to go for insane plays. On the other side, FaZe Clan making a lot of great plays of their own, but not ones that lead to the victory. Seems like OpTic is just in the final moments making the decisions to pay off with the dub. They're also taking the right positions faster than FaZe. Seems like they're playing the space game a bit better than FaZe. But I mean, this isn't the end we're going to see of FaZe Clan.
Well, as we enjoy a little break in the action, I want to let you guys know how much we enjoy you at home for tuning in and supporting this LVT grassroots Halo community partner team. We would not be here at the Halo World Championship if not for you guys. We are not financially supported in any way. We are not paid to be here. In fact, we all pay our own way, pay for room and board, meals, and it gets pretty expensive to fly across the country, especially to Seattle. The prices are really crazy out here. So all that crazy support in the chat that you guys have shown throughout the year is why we're here. It's why we're broadcasting right now with this opportunity to get some reps in, Eli, to practice and hone our craft. This means so much for you guys to allow us to do this. And I said yesterday that you guys are allowing us to live a dream, and that's not an overstatement by any means.
Absolutely. All the revenue that LVT makes is through this stream. It's through the gifted subs. It's through the bits. It's through the ad revenue. So if you get an ad, I know it can be annoying. We try to time it such a way that you're not missing any of the action. But just watch the ad, man. It doesn't cost anything to watch the ad.
Go get up and use the bathroom, or
just
grab
go
a
get
snack.
a snack. Yeah.
And if push-ups, I don't know, do something. But yeah, it sucks to have to tune in and have that ad when you know that there might be some action happening, taking place. But our producers do a great job to make sure the best they can that you guys don't miss any of the action. And I'd have to say, LVT Halo has done a great job throughout the year, making sure that the community hasn't missed a single game, you could even argue. I mean, without LVT Halo, before I even came on board, I know just as a viewer, I appreciated them because I felt like if it weren't for them, we wouldn't get to witness all of these incredible storylines. I feel like so many gaps would be present if not for LVT Halo. I feel like LVT Halo fills in those gaps, and again, wouldn't be able to do it without the support from the community. This is 100% community driven, and it means the world to us that you guys support us and allow us again to live out our dream.
There's nothing I love more than filling a good gap, if you guys know what I mean. But anyways, let's go on to capture the flag on Aquarius. This is going to be a very fast-paced game between 2 of the fastest teams in the league. You're going to see lots of thruster control. You're going to see lots of fast pulls. This is a game type that honestly could end pretty quickly if one team gets control. I'm going to expect at least a handful of counter caps when teams do get caps. It's going to play very fast-paced.
All right, here we go. Game 3, a crucial must-win, we'll call it, for FaZe Clan here, as they cannot afford to go down 0-3, needing a reverse sweep against the defending world champs, the defending MVP, Season 1, on your screen here. Lucid maintaining his position on spawn here. He's going to let FaZe Clan push through, take the bait, take the trap, looking to take down Renegade, still on their side of the bridge. This is interesting here. Lucid and the rest of OpTic have not pushed up off their spawn off the start. They're going to let FaZe come on in.
Very interesting decision-making here. Lucid just playing the ultimate defender of his base, recognizes no sense in pushing out. If you know the enemies are approaching, just take a good angle to play defensively here. After APG gets this kill, they might feel a bit more comfortable to push out. But Lucid opting to just stay in this window. This is so interesting so far. Electing to just stay mid-map and play gatekeeper to this half.
An entire minute has passed, and Lucid has not left his spawn. Instead, he's going to go back to the respawn screen as Frosty has a flag out. Going to cross that 50-yard line. Looking left, looking right. Left was not the right decision. It looked like he was in between 2 decisions, quickly made that left decision and got naded for it.
I do like the fact that just after 1 kill, he elected to pull the flag and start running it. I mean, he's trusting his teammates, who are some of the best that ever play the game, to get some kills while the flag is out. If they're able to do so, it turns into a flag cap. So that shows some early strategy from FaZe Clan. They're going to just go for a lot of pulls, trust that each other can finish the kills, and it's a numbers game. You know, the more times you pull the flag, the more opportunities you have to end up capping it.
FaZe's strategy when they first formed, Eli, was to just brute force their way through any opponent. And it seems like, for me, down 0-2, they're going back to the well. They're going back to that strategy that worked for them at the beginning of the season. It required a little bit of objective efficiency to grow and ultimately win those back-to-back tournaments, but we know because of the slaying prowess on FaZe, they could brute force their way into this OpTic base. As they've done just that. Formal now looking to push up through the cuts. Spots snakebite, roll 2, but he's going to let him on trickle by. Formal is the last player alive here. Gonna pull flag. This is so surprising. I thought he would maybe sit on it, but he sees the opportunity to get it to the midway mark and stay alive. What a play here from Formal. Last Spartan standing.
The awareness from this man and the way he's using this thrust around these corners. This man should have been dead so long ago. Instead, he's going to find a back smack. He might get this flag thrust again to dodge the grenade. He's going to get some more damage onto Frosty. If they get this flag home, that's from an MVP level play out of Formal.
But FaZe, because of the pressure and because of the numbers advantage they had, previously taking down 3 for OpTic, are going to get a flag out. So too is OpTic. You can see both flags there. Sitting on the side of Thrust is Trippy. Looks to stay alive. These kills are so crucial as they could either reset that flag or potentially score one for OpTic as APG. In fact, we'll get that. No, he's gonna continue the flag, but they're not gonna get the reset. It looks like they're so close, the timer there, but no, Snakebite gets it out. Snakebite sneaks it away now.
Wow, so we're in a bit of a standoff now. This flag is all the way in the base. OpTic's flag hasn't even crossed the halfway point. Lucid's going to try to play spoiler here for the enemy team to get close to it. Looks like he's just playing above one of his teammates, but Royal 2, at the same time they get the flag home, Royal 2 makes a clutch play to return his own flag. Neither team going to get the score this time.
Wow. All for naught was that incredible play there from Formal, and all for naught was that 3 down for FaZe Clan. So it's a moot point, I guess, as we reset 0-0 on your scoreboard. A couple minutes already passing through here in this game 3 with Formal. Gosh, what an incredible play he made there to move around bottom mid, get that flag out, but he's going to need another incredible effort if OpTic want to score.
Those are the kind of plays, though, that can make all the difference in winning a tournament, though. If you take a 1% chance to cap a flag and somehow get it, like, that's how you steal a game that you might not observe.
And Eli, it's not like Formal taking that 1% chance to put his team at a disadvantage to get counter-tapped by FaZe Clan. So for Formal to take that risk and to have it all work out, despite not quote-unquote working out, I think really speaks to how impressive of a play that was there from Formal.
Also, the timing in which he decided to do it, it was when all members of FaZe were pushing into his own base. By pulling it there, yeah, he confuses the enemy. They have to respond to his action.
Oh, there's some confusion as Formal lands the bank shot double kill, looking for a triple, but for now, Snakebite shuts it down.
Man, Formal's making so many important plays so far this entire series. Just love to have a big brain on your team that's got the experience to know what to do in every situation. Trippy with the quantum translocator here. I expect him to get some value out of this. He's going to go for this kill and then potentially blink back.
OpTic Gaming, Eli, has been the only team to possess the QT in this series. Maybe they put in a little bit more work before the Halo World Championship on figuring out a question that we posed to the community and all these teams a couple weeks ago. How do you use the QT efficiently? OpTic Gaming seemed to have figured that out.
A lot of these teams are just leaving it top mid. I mean, if you got a thruster, you often will prefer that over the QT, but OpTic Gaming have always picked up every single thing on the map and somehow found a way to flip it into their own advantage. New equipment is going to be no stranger to that effect. This looks pretty good for FaZe, though. Have good positioning on the map. They're just going to need to find and kill this pesky APG who's still back in their base.
It's a 3-kill edge here for OpTic Gaming. Not enough to score a single flag as both teams have struggled to score here. Reaching the halfway mark, tied at 0.
Positioning definitely in favor of FaZe here, though. They know the spawners are coming on the fridge side. Kind of surprised to see Royal 2 take this very aggressive flag route. I guess it's because he was ready to turn around and kill the spawners.
As the last Spartan standing, but he goes down shortly after, and this could be the first score here for FaZe Clan.
It's going to be so hard for OpTic to stop this. He's taking the best possible route here. This is a little bit faster than going through the back of the base. It's also safer from the angles that can shoot across the map. Frosty playing that flag run perfectly. FaZe Clan takes an early lead in this one.
FaZe draw first blood, and I don't think they're going to stop at 1-0. They know that it's not going to come down to 1. I think they know they need one more score here, as it's so difficult to shut out and shut down this OpTic Gaming roster. Frosty, a couple shots out across the blue base. Every member of OpTic Gaming in the back of blue base, and FaZe has another flag out.
FaZe want to get their way back into this series. They're looking good to do so. 5 minutes is a long time in this game type, though. OpTic has shown they know how to cap a flag. Defense has been great for FaZe anytime they have it out, but the offense from Renegade This flag's going to reset, but he's probably going to go for it. No, he's going to go for the thruster. He's going to continue to kill the spawners, give his teammates some more time to catch up. They know they can pull this flag later.
Starting to sense some momentum mounting here for FaZe Clan as the slays reflect it. Now sitting at a +3 actually, so they flipped that 3-kill lead for OpTic Gaming in this OBJ CTF. Important to note the objective efficiency though, as Renegade looking mighty efficient here. Takes down another 3 here for OpTic Gaming. I'd argue FaZe Clan has them in a blender almost. Staggered spawns, spawning out as well, split as well. What can FaZe do with it?
Renegade's been such a nuisance on the map. 17 kills to his name. He's got tools to continue the spree. Gonna get a couple more kills here. This could be another flag pull for FaZe. But it's Trippy who takes him out from car 3 with the commando.
FaZe are absolutely stacking slays, but it's Trippy stacking another score on the board for OpTic, or their first score on the board potentially could be here as Trippy gets that flag out to the car side of the map. Needs to worry about Frosty though, as he's got the shots in the back. Normal taking down Renegade, APG taking down another, but it's 2-2 in the feed. A 2v2 gunfight here. Winner gets the flag.
Wow. Very interesting decision by Trippy. Decides to curb slide and melee into his opponent first before thrusting out. Or sorry, for Formal.
That flag's still out. A few milliseconds left though, and Royal 2 recognizing that because there's so little time left to reset, doesn't put himself in a dangerous position. Car 1 instead takes the high ground. Car 3 pushes on through.
Knows that a player is lurking in the utility area that was APG, who does get a great trade on Renegade before dying. Without that trade, could have been an easy flag cap for FaZe Clan, but OpTic going to clean up that push and reset the situation.
Massive there, as we had seen several 3 downs for OpTic Gaming. Now it's 3 down for FaZe Clan, as OpTic looks to stagger their spawns. FaZe must be playing defensively though. For them, Eli, I think to have that many slays come through, and we now see Renegade at +8, Snakebite +3, nobody more than -2 for FaZe Clan. To not score again, it almost makes me feel like they are parking the bus. They are playing that strategical defensive effort here, as FaZe Clan seem content to score 1.
I think they'll get more if they can. It's just been great defensive efforts from OpTic. If OpTic can get a few slays here, it's what they need to get themselves back into this, but positioning from FaZe is so unpredictable. Frosty just lurking around car 1. Finds a player to get to 1 shot, able to stay alive, get his own shields back. Finds APG unsuspecting, can probably get a melee. No, doesn't get the melee. Actually massive for OpTic to trade out without taking extra damage there.
Yeah, because Frosty doesn't get that melee in, it allows that player for OpTic Gaming to continue presenting themselves on the map, to continue engaging in this gunfight. That's Trippy, I believe it was. Look at that, how that all trickles down. He takes down Renegade, but not before Royal 2 takes him down instead. Lucid with a trade on Frosty. Those ones back and forth. 2v2 once again.
Teams fighting so hard for mid-map. I was totally wrong. I thought this one would go pretty fast, but this is one of the lowest scoring Aquarius games we've seen all weekend. But it's due to the insane defense on both sides. Neither team really giving up a 4 dead situation to the other team. There's always one player alive to spoil the flag run.
Snakebite, because of that QT, has to peer over his right shoulder a couple times, and that's going to allow Formal to get a couple free shots on him. Snakebite looks to dip away into the generator. Has that MK sidekick, and this could be a Formal type play where he's in the back of OpTic's base and they might not expect it. And now Snakebite has a flag out, but that's just bait.
Yeah, he just throws it out to maybe slow down the push from OpTic on the other side of the map. OpTic can't comfortably just go for this flag. They're going to have to respond to the pressure in their base. That's why this was just a distraction. Understands this is a low chance to score this flag, but it did its job. Now it can turn into a cap though, after they get a few dead on the side of OpTic.
And because of that 1-0 lead, FaZe are able to play this with extra cautiousness, extra patience, as 2 more go down in the feed. Fortunate spawns, I would imagine, there for OpTic, as they do enough damage to take Snakebite down to 1 shot, but Snakebite comes right back and takes Formal down with 1 shot. 2-0 lead. No! This might get shut down, FaZe, but all the while, FaZe, this is a win condition for them. There's only 30 seconds left, Eli, so if they just keep that flag right there and keep the pressure on OpTic, this could be a win for them.
Very good point. Doesn't matter if the other team gets your flag out if they haven't returned their own, especially as the clock is winding down. Extra win condition opportunity for FaZe. If they secure this cap, that ends the game.
That should be GG's.
Yeah, not going to be possible for OpTic to get into this base to pull a flag and run it across the map and then pull another. So that's going to be GG's for this game. FaZe Clan right back in it. Now just a 2-1 lead for OpTic.
There's a little bit of that brute force strategy, right? Outslay your opponent. I think they outslayed him by, wanted to take a look at the stats if we could, because I always say for every team wipe on Aquarius, +4 should be +1 on the scoreboard. So looking to see how that matches up there for FaZe Clan, as I think they might have even overslayed. But again, that's part of their characteristics. That's almost a trait of theirs, is they use that to their advantage. Outslay, brute force strength their way to a Game 3 win.
Can't use that metric in this game, though, because I don't know if there ever was 4 dead on either side. It seemed like there was always 1 or 2 players playing spoiler to the flag cap.
Renegade had 7,200 damage.
That's insane.
Oh my God.
Man was absolutely frying most kills in the game, as he has had for a lot of these games.
This is big, man. This was huge. This was a must-win game for FaZe, and not only do they win, Eli, but they do it with authority. They didn't even allow OpTic Gaming on the board there. What was the key to keeping them from scoring a single point? That's not something we see often from this OpTic Gaming roster.
Every single time the flag was almost there was some member of FaZe Clan sneaking all the way into the other team's base, or they were just hitting the perfect angle to stop the cap short. I mean, like I said, such good defense on both sides throughout that game. I mean, 2 is pretty low scoring on the side of FaZe as well, but for OpTic to be shut out entirely, that means that in any situation that OpTic had a chance to run the flag back, at least one member of FaZe was in the exact right position to stop it short. This was the early flag run that we thought would go home for formal after making so many god plays here. Just grabbing it in the first place was impressive. Finds a way to get a kill, gets it all the way into the base, but we saw Royal 2 push into the base right here. Royal 2 gets the huge kill on APG. APG unable to trade that out, and this flag goes home at the same time their own flag gets reset.
And I think the only unfortunate aspect to FaZe Clan looking so good here on Aquarius, Eli, is the fact that they will not play Aquarius here again in this Grand Finals. Out of the 7 game modes and map combinations here in this best of 7 Grand Finals, 3 of the maps repeat twice. Aquarius, though, isn't one of them. So FaZe aren't going to be able to take that momentum here on Aquarius. We're going to go back to, I think it was Live Fire. We're going to play our first Live Fire game, I believe it is, for Game 4. So I think that actually this is starting to benefit FaZe Clan in that they can start to win some of these quote-unquote new maps in the series and then start to build some rapport. And you go back to Live Fire, I think that was Game 7. Start to build a case for how FaZe can create a path to a comeback in this series.
I think that the case was made yesterday. It was live Fire Strongholds that FaZe rocked OpTic with a 250-17 win in this exact game type that we're going into next.
Wow.
So,
okay.
I mean, this paints the picture that they could tie up the series if they play like they did yesterday, but OpTic got to sleep on that loss. They got to talk about it.
It's true. Yeah, OpTic could have even maybe watched some VOD with Lunchbox and countered every single opening strat. So for FaZe Clan here, say you're coaching them, Eli. Are you switching up the strategy that had you beat OpTic 250-17, or are you doing the same thing?
Opening strat might switch it up a little bit just to be unpredictable. I think that's always a reasonable play. As it looks like Frosty started to go top mid, but then goes through big door late. I actually like the decision to go big door late because if someone's going to watch big door off the start, they don't usually stay there if they don't see anyone. Looks like APG's job was to watch big door. Also, it's always FaZe's strategy to go for the B early in this game type because they want to have that stronghold for themselves while there is this fight for the overshield.
Yeah, I love the deception there from Frosty as he shows a push through mid, instead pushes left towards that B control, and because of it, FaZe are able to start off hot here, up 21. Nothing here from OpTic. Snakebite with a little bit of overshield to work with as well. Needs to prioritize his opponents here as he does that on Lucid. Then on Formal calls for a little help, and FaZe Clan, you can feel the momentum rising.
This is their game type. I don't believe they lost this all weekend. If you'll recall, day 1 they beat Quadrant on this, and Quadrant was known as the best Strongholds team in the league. So for FaZe to take a game off of the best Quadrant, or the best Stronghold team, day 1, that's some early momentum on Live Fire Strongholds. They've carried that throughout the rest of the weekend.
50 and rolling now for FaZe Clan as OpTic Gaming are going to have to figure out an answer to this electric energy and momentum that FaZe Clan have secured with that Game 3 win, coming right back in this series, make it a 1-game series. Lucid with that plasma pistol, repulsor to work with as well. And he's got it to prepare for that next overshield up to 20.
He doesn't want to die too early here, though. Look at him disengage. He understands he's going to be the most important guy on the map in about 15 seconds when that overshield comes up. Trying to use the repulsor. Snakebite making himself a really annoying kill there, trying to burn a few more resources on the side of OpTic. Love this push from Lucid. You think that maybe he should just sit out and wait for the overshield, but if he can get kills on the other side of the map while his team gets the overshield, it's even better.
Yeah, but he did just give up that plasma pistol, I believe. The FaZe clan, as Formal does have the overshield. I believe the counter's in the hands of his opponent FaZe. Formal now with a little bit of that overshield left to work with. Heatwave as well. Spots Renegade. That should be a free kill. Cleaned up by his teammate, but no, Renegade does a great job to sneak out. Matt knows he's nearby as he looks for the finish. He had to have dipped low. Where did Renegade go? There he is. Formal the whole time thinking the same thing we were, as Trippy eventually cleans him up.
Saw him also take out that plasma pistol player. Royal 2 wasn't able to land the shot. Always feels good if you got the overshield and the guy that has the green gun misses it.
And did you see that, Eli? Formal had about 15% of that overshield left, and after that engagement had 15% shields left, just like that. So Formal did such a great job there, maximizing the value of that OS.
Great point. I also love the way he pushed the spawn on this side, so looked like another intentional split spawn situation. Expected at least one player to be back tower, cleans that player up with the heat wave, also forces the rest of the team to spawn on the opposite side of the map at the same time. Great multitasking from Formal.
Despite that great play there from Formal, FaZe do one better. 4 go down for OpTic Gaming, and FaZe are looking for a trip cap. They've got it. 71 and rolling, and now all of this time is going to tick for 2, if not for OpTic Gaming quickly securing A.
Not only that, but they've got the Demon top tower with the sniper rifle, able to protect both B and C from this position. He's going to rotate to whichever side needs him most. Love the positioning from Snakebite, keenly aware of where his teammates are behind him.
Oh.
And the repulse play from Renegade, just shutting that play down, but that player has a repulse of their own. He tried to repulse back up. Maybe it was a bait. He heard the audio cue here. That's why he's looking for Formal, but he's not there anymore. Formal decided to go actually back around the backside, and he might get this kill.
What an interesting 1v1, and Formal gets sent off the map instead! A dueling battle between Repulsors and Renegade gets one better.
I don't know if people are aware of this, but when two people repulse each other at the same time, it creates like a Dragon Ball Z effect where they launch each other twice as far as anyone should ever be launched. And it looked like that was just enough distance because they activated the repulsor at the same time. That's why he flew so far there.
That was Royal 2.
Yeah.
The overshield in his suit. We saw that previously in OpTic Gaming's Formal, to be exact. It was Royal 2. There's a little bit left to work with. We saw how important that was for Formal. Can Royal 2 maximize the value of that OS? Lucid has the counter. He's got the plasma pistol repulsor. And he's going to clean up Royal 2. No, he is not. Saw the last shot metal, but it felt more like a reversal.
Look at Royal 2's face. Could this man be more locked in? He doesn't care about anything. He's not even calling out. He's just listening and killing whatever his teammates
He looks
say.
like Mason Cobb in 08.
I haven't seen his mouth move in any of the cams when we saw it to the screen. He's just listening.
Neighbor, man. And that makes sense. Royal 2, he's fragging out. Don't disrupt. The main Slayer as he's sitting here at 12 and 7. Renegade having a great game as well, 13 and 5. It's been that slaying prowess, that brute force energy from FaZe Clan that has them right back in the series.
Heat wave now in the hands of Snakebite. Previously Formal, they got a lot of value out of this weapon. Snakebite do the same, get his team back into control of the strongholds. Grab the repulsor at the same time. Repulsor and heat wave go down. Let's go into the hands of Renegade. And they're looking to score both B and C as A gets flipped on the other side.
FaZe Clan love to set a player up here on the wall sheet. I'm almost curious to see if Renegade sets up there. No, he's going to extend forward a little bit more. There he is on that wall sheet once again. Trippy is there too, but the close range combat going to be won by the heat wave.
Love the way Renegade always so tricky with his movement. Just makes himself a hard kill. Seems to never care how much shields he has. He just keeps going sometimes.
I think it's because if you know that your teammates have the attention, you can always peek out regardless of your low shields. Renegade does a great job of that, Eli.
Absolutely.
And they have another OS now. FaZe Clan are rolling.
Already have the lead. Also have the better positioning for the next sequence. Going to be able to get B, so it doesn't matter that they're losing A. Also going to be able to play defense against this angle with the overshield, but OpTic with a great push, sending one player through sandbags and big door simultaneously. It's going to apply a little bit of extra pressure to Snakebite, but both have to back up anyways.
And it was really the sandbox control that was the difference in games 1 and 2 for OpTic Gaming. We saw plenty of overshields for them, and snipers as well, and now the sniper in the hands of Renegade. So too was that previous overshield. The The sandbox is starting to mount for FaZe Clan. So too is the score, doubling up, actually up 100 here.
Tries to go for the fadeaway jump shot. Does two things there. Gives himself a chance to hit the shot, but also throws the weapon off the map. So OpTic denied even more sandbox control from that play.
Rel 2 looking stoic as stellar. Previously took him down in that elimination finals to get here to the grand finals. Goes down there to APG. 2 down for each team collectively. Renegade goes down. Snakebite goes down as well. It's a POV roulette here. Death cam roulette at that. As Frosty, one of the few members for FaZe, was able to continuously stay alive for a couple seconds. It's been back and forth. And because of it, OpTic have B and C and are right back.
Take a look at the kill counter. Has Lucid ever gone 4-5 minutes with just 3 kills? He's been shut down quite a bit this game so far. Unable to find his footing. Perhaps FaZe Clan just always finding him off of his spawn point. Had very little options to work with. This next overshield going to be highly consequential if OpTic wants to get back into this.
Lucid, though, Eli, surprisingly, because he's a number 1, 2, 3 KD performer, he's also second best in assists per life. Cycle at 0.65 a life. I think Lucid sits right below him at 0.63, so don't be surprised to see that 4, 10, and 10 as Lucid can do it all. Renegade can too, but we're hopping back on board here with Lucid. Got the OS, got the heat wave, doing plenty of damage, continuing to fulfill that support role as he gets another assist. Is it going to be another third? My goodness, the damage output here from Lucid was masterful.
Absolutely does burn the last shot of the heat wave, though. He's not going to have any extra resources or teammates to help him with this next engagement. Takes 2 members of FaZe to ultimately take him down. Spawners on the side of OpTic. They're going to choose now. Are they going to go for B or are they going to go for A? Looks like Formal starting the tip of the spear on the A side.
After a nice possession, nice hold from OpTic Gaming, FaZe Clan have regained control of the lead. A and B. And are now looking to cross into the 200s. 193 and rolling as 2 go down for OpTic Gaming. That's going to give a slight numbers edge, but wow. Renegade, you can see how surprised he was to not trade out there with APG.
Yeah, that did look a bit surprising on my end as well. It looked like a clear trade from my POV, but maybe APG with just a slightly faster reflexes to hit that melee before Renegades could come out. Now it's OpTic with control, and Snakebite and his teammate are on the push.
Snakebite recognizing the push from the back of Mud, drops that shroud screen to obscure some of the vision for APG, as OpTic holds control of B and C. Doing a good job here to maintain their life control, life advantage. Still have a numbers advantage, but it's Snakebite sneakily getting into the back of B, and he's going to steal it as well, but that was bait, as OpTic are going to go for the AC hold instead. That was a decision there by them.
Now, if you notice, Snakebite was with a teammate bottom mid who picked up the heat wave, but that player, after Snakebite left, got taken down, went into the hands of Trippy. Trippy's been on a tear ever since. OpTic has a lot of weapons here. Trippy, I believe, has Sniper and the heat wave. He's on an insane spree. I just keep seeing his name pop up in the scoreboard, but throughout all this, they've still not been capping, so I'd like to see a bit better objective efficiency for the side of OpTic when Trippy is popping off like this.
Trippy with the Lucid combo in his hands. Can he use it to help OpTic Gaming mount one hell of a comeback, as it's been all FaZe Clan. That score starting to dwindle away. OpTic have control of A and B, and it's on Trippy to maintain it as he lands the face grenade no-scope. Reversal on Frosty, but a huge nade there from Snakebite takes him down 2.
Trippy playing that situation so masterfully. The first grenade was the plasma to keep that player at bay while shield started to regen. Perfectly predicted that as soon as that grenade went off, the player would come back into his frag grenade. Huge plays out of Trippy.
Waiting moments of this match potentially, and my goodness, if FaZe Clan get that C control, this could be all she wrote. As they will, in fact, control C. OpTic looking to flip B, but Snakebite wants to shut that down. It's Trippy looking to help keep OpTic Gaming in it. Has done a great job to confuse the likes of Snakebite. If he can stay alive long enough. No, he goes down. 3 go down for OpTic Gaming. Eli, and we're looking at a 2-2 tie.
It happened off screen there, but this victory, if it happens right now, was actually because of Renegade. So in that moment, Trippy steps into B. You'd think that his teammates could potentially spawn Big Door or A and cap A, and suddenly, you know, they could get some control back. But Renegade was one step ahead and pushed all the way through OS to screens into back A so that no members of OpTic could spawn in A, which completely denied the opportunity for them to cap 2 at the end of the game, which was basically putting them in checkmate. They had no way to cap 2 in that moment.
And that was so smart by Renegade, Eli, because he had previously seen 30, 45 seconds ago, OpTic gave up B to go for A. There was something about that AC hold that Renegade recognized, and he shut it down. What a heads-up play from Renegade. And when you're popping off, slaying out like that, it helps to be pretty smart too, doesn't it? As Renegade exemplifies his accuracy and his big brain ability.
I mean, what makes him so dangerous is the way he moves around the map. You never know where he's going to be next. He could be... He's like the quantum Halo player. Like,
he is the QT.
You blink, and he's in a different spot. And you just never know where he's at until he shows up on your screen. And that's why if he's ever alive, the other team can't really rest. They say, where's John? Where's John? You can hear it when they play even random 8s together. If you're watching some of these guys' streams, definitely recommend, by the way, watch these guys on your free time. You can learn a lot from them. But I mean, he is the quintessential threat. You never know where he's at. You know he's probably getting a power weapon. You know he's probably moving behind you. And that threat is what has won OpTic these last, or sorry, has won FaZe Clan these last 2 games.
I totally agree, Eli. That's a great point. There is a prioritization of opponents that you have to almost visualize in your head throughout the entirety of your gameplay. Put a 1, 2, 3, or 4 above each of the 4 members of the opposition and determine who's the most important to take down. Like you said, more often than not, regardless of the positioning or where he is on the map, what he has in his hands, it's Renegade. And even on a team like FaZe Clan that has so many fraggers, it's insane that there can be an overemphasis on any of these players because they're all so cracked.
Absolutely. Not only should you be visualizing, you know, which player might be the priority, but you got to just be always using your imagination. Where is John? Because if you're not thinking about what route he might be taking right now, then he's going to catch you off guard. You have to be trying to predict him in every single moment. It's really hard to do because the guy is very unpredictable. He's taking space very fast. He has very fast movement. When he does show up, he hits the shots and he gets out cleanly. So if he can keep playing like that, it could be an opportunity for FaZe Clan to reset this bracket.
This was so crucial for FaZe to win the previous 2 games, not only because it ties up the series, but because it was the first time that we saw Aquarius, first and only time that we'll see Aquarius, and the first time that we've seen live fire. Now you go back to a recharge that OpTic Gaming should have won 2-0. It says on your scoreboard 2-1, but OpTic Gaming threw away, reset the oddball at 2 times where they did not need to, and then FaZe Clan had the lead in the final 10 seconds of that Game 2 Solitude Slayer up until Lucid made the flank, got the double kill, and got the 3rd as well to give that little insurance score, 2-kill lead at the end. So those 2 games went to OpTic Gaming, but instead, FaZe is right back in it. Can they flip recharge? Can they take a map like Solitude that it looked like they already had taken, but they're right back in it? That's the key. That's what's most important. We got ourselves a series.
What I've noticed about this FaZe Clan roster is they can lose games sometimes, but when they start winning games, they don't usually stop. And they've won the last 2. I mean, if you look back at these guys' scrim results over the last couple of months, they're shutting out some of the best teams in the world 17-0.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably some of the most insane scrim. It is the most insane scrim run. I mean, you can't put all your weight in scrims. There's a lot of different variables. Yes, I understand that. But we've never seen a more dominant set of scrims from a team ever in Halo Infinite.
I think the other thing
when they start winning, they just don't stop.
I think the other thing I took away from that, Eli, was it wasn't even that their win percentage was so high, right around 90%. They played like 200 games.
Right.
200 matches. OpTic Gaming, I think, played 60 or so when I checked. This was about a week ago, so it could have gone up, did go up, because I do know that OpTic and FaZe scrimmed on Sunday this week. So here a week ago, those 2 teams were scrimming. It's kind of interesting to point out. FaZe Clan, though, they were all in California playing on a West Coast connection. OpTic Gaming stopped them out, but I think that's more of an indication of maybe fishing for some intel and a little latency maybe out there on the West Coast.
Right.
As we do, in fact, head back to recharge for Slayer, though. And I think that's important to note because I actually think this benefits FaZe rather than OpTic, despite the fact that OpTic has already won a recharge in this series. And that's because of the game mode, Team Slayer. FaZe, they were born. They were organized. This team was put together to win every single Slayer in a series. They haven't done it so far in this one, but they can't go too long without winning one. So I feel like despite the fact that the series is tied, I give a little bit of an edge, 51-49 to FaZe.
I will tell you though,
go ahead.
OpTic has beat FaZe in the last 3 Slayers they played because OpTic won the 2 in the winners bracket yesterday. So while I agree with you, FaZe, and statistically, by the way, is the best Slayer team, OpTic has had their number by just making clutch plays at the very end. But yes, will FaZe put it together and finally come out with a victory in Slayer against OpTic?
FaZe Clan's stealing the chant from the SSG fans. They like that. Break the wall. Trippy. Going to break the hearts of FaZe Clan once again as he's got that shock rifle camo combination. Got a grapple up as well. He recognizes that. He's got a full kit to work with here as he takes the sky, the high ground, with that shock rifle, looking to just bait in a couple of these FaZe Clan opponents.
Trippy has been, in my opinion, an MVP in a lot of the wins that OpTic has had over the course of Halo Infinite. Seems like in the grand finals this guy will pop off, especially with this gun. We saw him hit a killing frenzy at one point in one of those grand finals on their way to victory. This guy knows how to use his power weapons, like the reposition here. Seems like he's just trying to find a spot to pick an unsuspecting player. I think Renegade saw the glint in the zoom. Keep in mind, if you're zoomed in on your opponent, it does shine brightly on their screen, so Renegade knew the shock rifle was in there, and that's why Trippy completely repositions the other side of the map.
We're in the feeling out portion of this game as 90 seconds have passed.
Woo!
Only 5 kills, but there's an addition to the 5th, 6th total now. As Trippy lands that shock rifle headshot. That opening break kill is going to break that stalemate. As OpTic Gaming are looking to round up their numbers, collectively push through on this lone player here for FaZe Clan. You have to imagine he's calling for help. All the while, Roll 2 in the feed takes down Lucid. My goodness, Frosty takes down APG. Oh my God! Despite what looked like an incredible push from OpTic, FaZe handle it flawlessly, take all 4 down without losing a single member's life, and now they're up 2.
A bit unfortunate. Looked like Trippy knew Frosty was back silo somewhere, but he just stopped looking at the angle right when Frosty chose to peek. That early damage forces him to disengage. The rest of FaZe Clan come in, take advantage of the smallest edge possible to get the maximum value out of it. Great stuff from FaZe Clan, but how are they going to play out of this? Trippy's got the camo, and I don't think the positioning from FaZe is great right now.
3 members of OpTic collapsing on 1 Frosty, and my God, FaZe played that perfectly, but OpTic Gaming off the reset of that. In the camo, you can see the chase prediction grenades going across the way. They're trying to land on Trippy, but he recognizes it, stops his push, re-engages. Royal 2 with the plasma pistol going to do enough to take Trippy down to low shield. Snake fight. And another gunfight though, and Frosty, this is bait and switch mania right now in the tower. Look at this is insane!
But what I just saw from Trippy was he did not care that he was one shot. He knew his team was going to show up soon, so he went in and did even more damage before being taken out. Great plays out of Trippy. He's starting 5-2, but he's done a lot of extra things that don't even show up on the scoreboard to keep his team in the lead here.
I love Lucid's recognition of the slow pace of play here. Realizes he can go out for that repulsor without leaving his teammates in a 3v4. Instead, it's going to be a 4v4. Lucid has the repulsor to work with, and he's putting it to good use, using it to get that grenade out a little bit quicker on Royal 2. He's going to leave Royal 2 at low shields, but with all 4 members of FaZe Clan there, Lucid wants to make sure that when he pushes in, they got a really good chance to take them all down.
Noticing a new meta evolve with the repulsor in those situations. So you throw a grenade and repulse, which gets your grenade there faster, but also if your opponent happens to throw their own grenade at the same time, it's also going to repulse it back into them, which means you could just get a free kill with both their grenade and your grenade killing them at the same time. We've seen some fantastic plays from these guys with that utilization.
Renegade expecting the chase, lines up that reticle. After a nice shot previously, 2 members of his FaZe Clan go down, and another perfect lineup with that reticle, perfect centering. And FaZe have the perfect setup with the camo as well.
Still down by 1, but they do have some good items to work with. It looks like Renegade was taken down. He had the shock rifle. Not sure how much ammo was left in it. If there was any ammo, it's now in the hands of either Formal or Lucid. Royal 2 trying to take a position here. Knows that several members of OpTic are trapped in A currently. Wants to get some value out of this camo before it expires, but as I say that it does expire, he knows that it made a sound as well, so you see him not peeking right away. But we do see now that the shock rifle is in the hands of Formal.
Yep, switching positions and possessions is that shock rifle. As Formal has it in his hands. Possesses a 2-kill lead as well. This one's pacing incredibly slow, Eli. This one should go to time. As Formal looks to send Snakebite back to the respawn screen. Renegade takes Formal down and gets back that sniper rifle. You could tell John wanted it back.
Love the recognition from Formal there too, though. He had players both in front and behind him. Recognized he had to just get a kill before he died, was able to do so. So important to trade out kills like that.
19-17 now. It's a 2-kill lead for FaZe. Things are back and forth. As Royal 2 has the sidekick in his hands. Love picking up anything on the wall just for the ability to YY even. Great recognition there from Royal 2, but he's not just looking to YY. He's looking to put that sidekick to work. So effective in close range.
Certainly outclasses the battle rifle in many situations. Also seen these players start to use it across the map at pretty effective, maybe surprisingly effective manners, outputting damage just with impeccable gun skill, understanding the bloom, knowing how fast they can shoot it at different ranges. All these players highly proficient, but yeah, as we approach the 6-minute mark, but not the 25 kill mark, that is usually the telltale sign for an incoming timeout. So every single kill becomes more valuable if the game is going to lead to a timeout, because there's less total kills in the pool to be had. Every lead also going to be highly important as this clock starts to wind down.
If you're just joining us, we are in Game 5. OpTic Gaming coming from the upper bracket. FaZe Clan needing this series win to reset the bracket and send us to another best of 7. Feels like this one's going the distance. Lucid with that Camo looks to push up on Renegade, gets a couple shots out, and sends Formal to clean up, but no, Formal gets cleaned up instead. APG now on the flank. Lucid just, if he can just stay alive long enough to allow APG to get in the mix, but the timing wasn't good enough. No, APG trades out, but doesn't get the numbers edge that they need down 5.
So good from the side of FaZe Clan. They're watching each other's back so well this game so far. If any of them's ever one shot, the player's able to sit back and to take a comfortable position to be safe while their teammates watch the enemies push in and try to kill them. Baiting and switching has been part of Halo since the dawn of time, and these players showing that it's still the most valuable thing you can do in the game to give their team the lead.
Such a beautiful dance of death. Bait and switch. You see Frosty. Didn't land the sticky, but he sticks the reticle with that shock rifle onto the head of his opponent. He's looking for another one. APG goes down, Lucid's down, and OpTic's down 7, and there's not much time left. OpTic now is going to be forced to overextend, to almost force the pace of this play up a little bit.
You're exactly right. Pacing so important. They understand the situation. Down by 7 with 4 minutes to go. You have to start playing more aggressively. You're going to have to get a few clean squad wipes to swing the game back in your favor. FaZe aware of this, totally content to just set some traps and make it that much harder for OpTic to actually come back. Camo
Stalemate.
also coming up right now.
Another stalemate. Like you said, Eli, the only thing to break it is someone pushing for the Camo. Here's the thing, though. FaZe, they're not pushing for the Camo. They don't need to. Not with this lead. They're going to bait it instead. Great recognition of that by FaZe. They take down APG. You can see APG starting to trickle out towards it. But it looks like FaZe, because of that strategy, because of that bait, because of this situation, are going to build on this lead. Now up by double digits.
So impressive the way that FaZe has chosen to play it. Now only up by 8. There was a couple of kills that went to the other side, but see Lucid sees a repulsor on the floor, knows how important it is to hold that. He's got a couple grenades. Imagine he's going to combine this repulse with a couple grenades or just repulse his opponents off the map if he can make it back here. Another repulsor on the other side here. You can see how both teams highly contesting this equipment.
Did Lucid force the detonation of that sticky grenade? Because it had nowhere to go. It was stagnant on the ground. Looks like the repulsor timed with the explosion of the grenade, something maybe to dissect in a VOD review later this week, Eli. As FaZe Clan hold a big lead here, 36-27. OpTic Gaming, dare I say, need flawless Halo if they want to come back.
Yeah, with just 3 minutes on the clock, they're going to have to start steamrolling and start quick. FaZe not going to make it easy any step of the way. Frosty sees 2 opponents pushing him, decides to completely disengage, trying to use a little bit of slides and tactics to get out even faster in case he is being chased. In this case, Lucid's going to get punished for the chases. He's immediately taken to one shot. That's going to open up some space for Frosty to get the shock rifle, open up Renegade to finish him off. This is looking close to impossible to make this comeback.
Yeah, Frosty doesn't even need to do anything with this shock rifle. Just possessing it in his hands is massive for him, as they're not going to allow OpTic Gaming to take advantage of that instant TTK to come back quickly, needing to with only 2 to go.
This is where OpTic has to go. They have to collapse in, but Renegade, like we talked about, always in the most unexpected position. How was he even bottom A? Where did he come from? Finds a trade, which makes it that much more hard for OpTic to comfortably push. Just having one less member alive on their team. Renegade off of his spawn point somehow assassinates Trippy as well. This guy is just finding situations to be effective. Formal, not sure what happened to him there.
You know Formal though? Such a veteran. I didn't see too much tilt on what could be a tilting situation.
That's a good point.
Seemed to just accept it, let it go, because I heard audible backseat, but I heard the roar from the crowd as Renegade lands the triple. 46-34. FaZe putting the finishing touches on Game 5.
A minute to go. This would be the most insane comeback ever if OpTic can pull it off. Gonna have to get 3 clean squad wipes back to back to back with an 8-second respawn timer. If just one member of FaZe hides in a corner for the rest of this game, probably secures his team the victory, to be honest.
Feels like we're playing for technicalities here at this point. Maybe a couple confidence kills. They're on the side of OpTic Gaming, looking to maybe just make it a single-digit loss instead of a double-digit loss. There's still something to play for in that sense.
Wait.
He goes take down Snakebite, and with that kill, it just feels like a little too much as...
There was actually a lag out. It looked like Snakebite had lagged out. I wasn't sure how Trippy assassinated him because Snakebite was running into the wall. But he was also screen watching, so I wasn't sure if he was like hiding. Because when I said somebody could just hide in the corner for the rest of the game to win, it's because, you know, mathematically they need 12 just to tie, right? If one player just doesn't die for the rest of the game, it's going to be very hard for them to get those 12 kills in that minute remaining. But I think Snakebite actually lagged out before the back smack, so that kill's not going to count. I'm going to have to imagine the referees are going to have to look back at the exact time of the disconnect.
Absolutely.
And decide what's going to happen from there.
Now, that's crucial, Eli, because we talked about that 12-kill lead with just a minute to go, and 47-41 was what I saw when they went to the defeat screen or the end game screen. A 6-kill difference. Did OpTic Gaming really cut that lead in half, or is there something else at play? We're going to have to get some kind of official word. I'm not sure what the reset's going to look like here.
This is going to be so interesting because a lot of the times in situations like this,
take a look here.
If it looks like it would be impossible to come back when this disconnect happens, a lot of the time the other team will do the sportsman-like thing and just say, you know what, you got it. Let's just go to the next game.
Interesting little...
But this is the world... this is the grand finals of the World Championship, so I think if you're OpTic, it's understandable if you can take any slight edge you can get for playing a broken video game, let's be honest, at times. I wouldn't blame them for taking it, you know? Because if it resets, suddenly that is a surmountable.
It's almost like it's like chess squared or something at this point, because I feel like if you're FaZe, you're thinking that exact same thing. So if you did get OpTic to concede it, I wonder if FaZe goes, wow, they must be really confident. You know what I mean? Like, wow, they just gave us that. I mean, I know we had it if
that's
we're
a good
FaZe
point,
clan,
yeah.
but I would be thinking, if I'm Frosty, be like, oh wow, that's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
They're going to give us. I'd almost be caught up in that thought. But let's break this down here at the end, Eli. This is what's important. We want to find out what this reset might look like.
Yeah, this is the screen that I thought the lag out was having. Snakebite turns and looks at his teammate's screen. Doesn't look happy. Probably upset.
Yeah. Maybe the first time we've seen some emotion.
If he did get DC'd here, Trippy just takes the free kill. Probably not aware. I mean, as a player, you have to just keep playing. I mean, no shame in Trippy assassinating a player that could be lagging out, because it could just be Snakebite running into a wall for no reason. It's also a possible version of reality. So in this case, we're going to have to wait and see what the admins declare.
Wow.
So this is the swing game, too. I mean, it looked like it was all FaZe clan into the end there, all FaZe clan into the end of the game there, but
you know, I think OpTic just gave it to him, because I see FaZe Clan walking back here. Now, teams usually have a break after Game 5, right, Eli? But I imagine they wouldn't take it if they were to get right back into the finish of that Game 5. So our belief, we watch both OpTic and FaZe walk back to the pro player area here where we're housed at the HCS World Championship here live from the Seattle Convention Center. I want to give a huge thanks again to the community for allowing us to be here, and the HCS as well, Eli. This has been a really special year for LVT Halo. We started out in Charlotte in an Airbnb across the street from the venue.
Yeah.
They couldn't keep us out for too long. We were knocking on the door, and we finally broke through with a welcome mat from HCS, from 343, from Halo, the community. Everybody supporting what we were doing here to bring more eyes to Halo, and just a couple of OGs like us that have been around since the very beginning. I mean, that's what it's all about, as it will, in fact, that hunch we had will, in fact, be a FaZe win. All right, we just got confirmation. FaZe have the win. Not sure what the final score is. We'll put it in as 47-41, but yeah, interesting. OpTic does, in fact, concede a game in the grand finals, and I know it's hard to really say they conceded. It's not like they just, it was 0-0 and they said, you guys got this. It was pretty handily in FaZe's favor. But interesting to note, how does that dynamic play into consideration? Do you think FaZe are looking at that a little sideways, like, wow, I'm surprised you guys gave it to us, or do you think that was par for the course?
I think just based on recent history and these situations occurring in the past, it is kind of par for the course, I think. These teams know when a comeback is like less than 1% likelihood, right? And it's a respect thing, I think. You know, I respect you guys. I'm not going to take it. Also, on the side of OpTic, wouldn't feel right to take the reset and then win in a situation where they already pretty much were certain they were out of it.
Good point.
It doesn't, like, if that ultimately was the game that won them the world championship, a lot of people would feel like there was an asterisk behind it. They don't want an asterisk behind their world championship.
Great point.
And they got another series to work with. Just give them the dub.
FaZe Clan fans starting to get a little loud behind us. That's because FaZe were the first to walk back to the main stage. OpTic Gaming take a little bit longer to talk through their strategies. As they stay here in the back, they still look intensely focused, still look right here in it, despite 3 in a row now to FaZe. It was a best of 5. It should be a reset bracket. Instead, it's a best of 7, and still feels like this one's going the distance, but my goodness, with the way FaZe has looked, this is barreling towards a reset.
Like I said, when this FaZe Clan roster starts winning, they don't usually stop. They are against OpTic.
Now, let's bring this up, Eli. OpTic Gaming was in this exact, let's say they do like a reset. OpTic Gaming was in this exact same spot last year where SSG reset the bracket, and then OpTic won the reset. Could that be the case here? What an incredible sequence that would be, but my goodness, Eli, if this again does not point to the importance of keeping that winner's bracket token in your back pocket, it's a reason why there has never been a Halo Infinite champion from the lower bracket. It is so difficult alone to beat the best team in the world, because that's who you're playing in the grand finals. Not only once in the best of 7, but twice. Now the FaZe fans, they see OpTic get back to the main stage. They start to break the wall chant. So we do have all 8 players get back to their seats.
Love the energy in the venue today. It's been so electric all day long. Even yesterday, even in pool play, the crowd has been insane.
My goodness. Yeah, we said yesterday it felt like a Sunday. And even this morning we got here, we were the first ones at the gates. When they opened the doors, we were here alongside a mob of the community, hundreds of people here to make sure they got their seat on the main stage. It's crazy, Eli. I live in Dallas. I'm a huge Cowboys fan. They got a great stadium there in Arlington, Texas, where there's a GA section. So all you got to do is buy a ticket and you're in. But those people always want to make sure they're the first in so they can sprint to the best GA seat in the house. We all have general seating here at the Halo World Championship. And I saw the exact same thing I'd see at a Cowboys game, maybe a little bit not as fanatical and crazy as those scenes are, as you see thousands of people sprint through the gates. But here today, we saw hundreds of people respectfully, like, brisk walk jogging because the admin was very, did a great job controlling the crowd and making sure everybody was safe. But there was an electricity, there was an energy to scurry on and quickly get to your seat and plant yourself here for what's been an incredible day of Halo, maybe the best ever yet.
If you guys in the chat have not attended one of these tournaments and you've just sat home and watched, I highly encourage you to attend one of these tournaments. I mean, next season we did just get confirmation that we will be going into HCS Year 3. Thank goodness. I don't know what I would do without more of this awesome Halo action and the rest of you guys in the community, but if you haven't been to an event yet, please go. There's got to be one that's at least reasonably close to you. Try your best to get there, raise some funds. attend the tournament, because sitting out in the crowd and watching is a totally different experience than watching at home. There's also hopefully going to be more of these side events that we've had at the last couple tournaments.
That's been the key for me.
Can't guarantee that that's going to be the case. They haven't said so, but I mean, they've been wildly successful. I don't see why they would stop. At least show up. Even if you don't do well in the Halo Infinite bracket, you might be able to play your favorite Halo game in 2v2 or 4v4. Going back to Halo 1 even, they've had some tournaments. So definitely show up. There's so much to do here. You get to meet some of your friends from online, have some cool experiences with the group, and man, I'm just so happy to be here, Hunter. I know we've said it 100 times, sound like broken records, but I mean, this is our Super Bowl, man. We've been waiting for this all year long, and we're seeing an insanely tight grand finals. FaZe taking a 3-2 edge in the first series. Like we said, OpTic has that token in their back pocket of winning the winner's bracket. It's going to take 2 series for FaZe to take them down, but they're going to have to hopefully get a win here in Solitude King if they're going to reset that bracket.
Back in the saddle, back on Solitude, and back on board here with Renegade. Incredible performances here in the previous 3 games to put FaZe Clan on top in a game-clinching scenario where they could reset this grand finals. Renegade goes down. Frosty, though, the sniper in his hand. This hill could be the only hill, or excuse me, could be the difference-making hill. Sometimes on Solitude, you win the first hill, 50%, or I'd say even 60% of the time, you win the whole game. So could not point out how crucial and important this opening hill is.
Usually takes the longest as well, especially when there's 2 very good teams in the lobby. Mostly because that hill is so exposed in the dead center of the map. Almost every spawn point can quickly take an angle to it, but both these teams are going to favor the spawn points on the yard side because they can see the entire hill, they can protect the teammate that's in it, and they can just approach the hill a bit easier. But right now, neither team having much time in the hill at all. Looks like FaZe with the 3 dead, though, they're going to get some time while these players start to respawn.
OpTic Gaming did a good job to not allow Frosty to have much importance with that sniper rifle, but Frosty was forcing through an invisible hand that OpTic Gaming pushed towards the cafe side, and FaZe Clan handled it really well, taking down 4 members of OpTic Gaming as they're now all 4 back up alive, but Frosty still has that sniper in his hands, and he's putting it to use. Lucid goes down to the headshot. Trippy in the hill. Great chase nade goes out from Frosty. That's going to tick for 2 damage, it looks like, as he splits Formal and Trippy right and left. Both at low shields. Frosty now looking back for Trippy. So Trippy does a good job to reshield, reposition, but all the while, Frosty maintains the ever-important sniper possession, and that is huge. Trippy takes him down and regains control of that seaside.
Honestly, really impressive life from Frosty there. He only got 1 snipe out of the situation, but OpTic knew exactly where he was the whole time and made his life extremely difficult. Still able to stay alive for a very long time, provide some cover to his teammate to get some more hill time. Like we said, this first hill is so important, and that entire life might be the difference maker for them to cap this hill.
It's already a minute and a half off the clock, Eli. We haven't even seen a score go down on the board. This is pacing for a potential minute 45, maybe 2-minute hill capture. You see exactly why this first hill is so crucial to control. You really make that other team chase. And King of the Hill, that's the case. Anyways, I feel like on Solitude, it's like scoring 2 for 1.
You are not wrong. I mean, the team that gets this first hill is also probably most likely to get the second hill, since it is just right there in the driveway. Neither team going to make it easy, though. AVG immediately taking this angle from the LR, pushes Renegade out of the hill, understanding that they only need about 7 seconds more to cap this. Love the angle and spawn awareness on the side of OpTic. OpTic have actually had, in my opinion, better map positioning for this hill so far, but it's FaZe Clan who had the more timely slays and able to get more time so far.
Big shots there from Royal too, but Matt, make sure to clean them up. As Formal should have the sniper as a reward. I believe it's down S1, unless it was maybe picked up by somebody else, maybe an AI scan to help you find the location of that sniper. As Formal now has it in his hands.
A full snipe nonetheless.
Full snipe, wow, that's incredible. 7 shots to work with. As he gets into the hill with it, close quarter combat for Formal. He's scoring hill time. And a couple headshots. No, misses that one on Royal 2, but the attention is on Formal all the while. His teammates above him, scoring a few little seconds of hill time, but it's not enough to really make a dent in this lead for FaZe. As this could be it. Trippy, last player alive for OpTic Gaming, as FaZe Clan look to put the finishing touches on this hill as they do. Eli, it was nearly a 3-minute hill. My goodness, only 2:15 on the board.
So important to get that first one. Now OpTic forced to be very, very disciplined throughout the next couple of hills. Also going to have to get several slays. It's almost impossible to get these hills without several kills throughout. Every hill on this map so exposed, and if there's 4 members of the other team still alive, you're not going to be able to safely get it.
FaZe Clan doing a great job, like you said, Eli. Not only earning that first hill, but scurrying along down the driveway to get 25% on the second as well. And with 2 minutes left on the clock, if they do make it a 2-0 game, it's over. This could be the final hill right here. OpTic have to tie it, otherwise it's it.
Love this push right here from Snakebite and Frosty. Recognize we don't have to sit in the hill. All we have to do is get out, walk a few steps. If we walk together, we can shut down anybody approaching on the side of OpTic. They do get taken down, though, due to a great push from OpTic. They went through not only the loop, but also Glass and LR simultaneously, able to collapse. Royal 2 playing very sneaky here while he waits for his team.
Because of how tight this series is, you're seeing that clock get milked. We saw that in the previous Slayer where it went to time, or would have, most likely. And here in this one, this could be a 1-0 game where the clock again gets milked away. It shows the importance of the situation. The World Championship on the line, and you can feel it.
And I don't think FaZe was intentionally playing time when they stepped out there. They just recognized it's pretty unsafe to stay in it and might as well push out a side. But the side effect of that is, yes, the timer is also going to wind down while you have the lead, which is also okay. So we're going to see FaZe probably play this hill in a way that they're not too neurotic to get in it. They're going to just play for slays, and if they can get time, they will.
PG down to low shields. All Renegade needs is a fist to take down 2, but he gets cleaned up. Frosty with that bandit. To put the good shots on Lucid, but no, Lucid lands the reversal instead, and OpTic Gaming have life with 1 minute to go.
Also have fantastic spawn forcing of the other teams, force them in the opposite corner from this hill. Love the way FaZe is playing from this, though. Frosty taking a position on the truck so he can lay down the shots from the outside. Rest of FaZe all push through LR and just overload the hill. They end up eating some grenades for it for being inside each other's Spartans. That's why you usually want to show up from different angles so you don't get blasted by grenades. But at the end of the day, FaZe Clan able to clean up the situation, and they might get the second hill. And if they get the second hill, that could be the game.
That's the risk you take, but that risk, Eli, prevents OpTic Gaming from tying it. They only need a few more seconds. There's only a few more seconds left in this game, 54 to be exact. And with every step out of that hill, the clock continues to dwindle away. Frosty gets Formal down to 1 shot. Formal, the last player alive. Frosty, because of that, is going to chase and extend out. And that should do it. There's just simply not enough time, Eli. FaZe Clan look to reset the bracket.
Yeah, it's looking that way, but it's not impossible for OpTic to come back here. If they get a clean 4 dead, they could get a lot of hill time very fast. And then the next hill is actually the most easily capped with a strong setup. So I think that if you're going to get any 2 hills quickly, these are the 2 hills to do it.
Here we go. It all comes down to this. If OpTic Gaming want to prevent FaZe from resetting the bracket and taking that momentum into the reset, they got to find it now. But they're not going to. 3 go down. Trippy's the last player alive. You're going to have to desperate here as he will drop into the hill. Spawns at the back of a window for the rest of OpTic Gaming, and that clock feels like it's just ticking away.
It is, when Trippy's hitting clutch shots, those are the kind of shots you need to hit if you're going to make this comeback happen. It is certainly going to be difficult, but if they can get slays here, this could go into their favor. Like I said, that next hill moves to the snipe side. Not impossible to get a lockdown setup there.
So huge for Royal 2 to stay alive right here. He had 2 down for 2 members down for FaZe Clan. If Royal 2 goes down, that's massive numbers advantage for OpTic Gaming. They can take a few collective seconds in the hill, but instead they're not going to be able to. I'd say if Royal 2 staying alive right here is the reason why it's not 2-1. Instead, it's FaZe Clan resetting the bracket.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be basically impossible now for OpTic. And that's going to reset the bracket. Well, not yet. There's going to be some drama first. We're going to have to try, but those 2 kills are going to seal the deal.
Wow. And there you have it. FaZe Clan have reset the bracket. They reverse sweep, quote unquote, the series. OpTic winning the first 2. FaZe winning the next 4.
Very impressive stuff. We talked about the quote-unquote advantage of having won a map prior in the series, but FaZe Clan said, you know what, we actually figured out what we did wrong on Recharge. Oh yeah, and we also figured out what we did wrong in Solitude, so we're just going to win those. I know you already won one of the games, but I mean, when FaZe starts winning, they don't usually stop Hunter.
Clearly, FaZe was just fishing for intel in games 1 and 2, Eli, right? I mean, come on, it's clearly all according to plan as FaZe put together 4 wins in a row in the Grand Finals 1. I say that because we got another one coming up after this. We're going to take a quick bathroom break, rehydrate, we definitely need it. And when we return, your Grand Finals reset, no more tokens in the back pocket, and the winner of this next series wins the Halo World Championship.
Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Killing spree. Killing spree. Kill. Perfect. Double kill. Triple kill. Killing spree. Enemy has the ball. Perfect. Double kill. Enemy has the ball. Incoming. Perfect. kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Return. Killing spree. Reversal. Last shot. Killing spree. Killing spree. Reversal.
Reset, re-rack, regain. So we have our Grand Finals 2 after FaZe successfully reset the first Grand Finals. 6 games. Heading back to Solitude here where FaZe looked really convincing in that closeout game. And wasn't this just how FaZe Clan closed out OpTic? Are they playing back-to-back King of the Hill on Solitudes, Eli? This could be huge.
Hunter, I told you, when FaZe starts winning,
Strongholds instead, excuse me.
they don't stop.
So FaZe, it's not King of the Hill, but it is FaZe back on Solitude, hill-based game mode and Strongholds. I gotta imagine this is a game mode they're probably pretty excited to play after how they looked previously on Solitude. Heading right back to it. Heading right back on board here with Renegade. He's got the repulsor to work with, but he's got to worry about Trippy first, as he does a great job taking him down.
Trippy with the only 2 kills in the game so far, kind of surprising. Right now, OpTic does have control of both B and C. This is the preferred zone configuration for most teams here. It's okay to let the other team spawn in the yard and tram side if you have BC. Pretty easy to defend these two, but see how FaZe elects to play out of the unfavorable position.
Well, Formal's got the QT and the sniper in his hand. It was previously in the hands of FaZe, you can tell because of the skin he's rocking. Looks to line up the shot on Snakebite. They're not giving him really much to look at. Even Renegade, who did, made sure to take him down. Lucid takes down Snakebite. 3 down for OpTic Gaming, that's now 3.
Double kill.
Renegade has the sniper back in his hand, and it's a 3 down for OpTic and a trip cap for FaZe Clan.
So incredible how FaZe has been playing out of these situations. They're able to turn lemons into lemonade time and time again. Renegade with the sniper going to make it that much harder for OpTic now to get out of this unfavorable position. If they're going to have to come back in this, they're going to have to take down Renegade first.
Like a really good start for OpTic Gaming, but my goodness, it's been all FaZe ever since as they look pretty set to soar past that minute mark, that first checkpoint of the matches. FaZe have not only secured that, but they secured another triple cap here. Eli, we talked about how watch out because FaZe, they just won here on Solitude King of the Hill, and it makes sense. They're on fire here to start this Grand Finals reset.
Love the way they just played that situation too. They went into cap A, intentionally forcing the spawns over to the blue area. They understand that OpTic's only option when they spawn blue is to go right back to A. They don't care. They're just putting them back in this cycle over and over where they let them cap A, go kill them all, then they take A right back. They leave, go for some more spawn kills. APG actually spawned on an island away from the rest of his team while FaZe pushes him out, spawns the rest of OpTic back into blue. This time, instead of going A, they said, let's not repeat the cycle. Let's actually try to go C this time, but looks like FaZe is ready for it.
FaZe are running away with it. And FaZe get another 3 down for OpTic Gaming. It's a -10 for OpTic, +10 for FaZe Clan. The scoreboard reflects it too as FaZe Clan maintains possession of that trip cap. That perfect grenade. Thought it was going to take down Trippy to low shields. Perfect placement, but not the right timing as Trippy sneaks away through the back of yard. Looks like they're going to work their way towards the window. All the while, that's going to give Renegade a free snipe.
This is basically perfect gameplay out of FaZe so far. They've spawned OpTic in blue 3 times in a row and had the answer every single time. In this case, they let them cap A, let the other, basically letting OpTic take the worst part of the map, and then they're just going to kill them and take A right back. They've done this 4 times in a row. This is the 4th time in a row they've intentionally spawned OpTic on the blue side of the map.
Well, we said FaZe had the edge coming into this game, Eli. I didn't know they were going to run away with it. 200 to 22. Renegade's popping off. He hasn't died yet since we went to his POV. He's only died once in this entire game, sitting at 6-1, and he's not going to allow Formal to move an inch. He takes him down with a body shot. Did you see how Renegade, he lined up the centering at the chest level to get more body mass from Formal, knowing that he was weak. Great heads-up recognition there from Renegade.
Not only that, but he stopped him from capping C, and now he's going to show up in A and stop him from capping A as well.
Oh my God! FaZe went in 5 minutes! They just sped run that game 1! In the Grand Finals reset, no less, against OpTic Gaming, no less. The defending world champion, as it feels like something special is starting to brew for FaZe Clan. Woo!
How many times have I said it so far, Hunter? When FaZe start winning, they don't stop winning. Every single time that they've gone on like a 2-game run, they don't let it out. They just keep going. They just keep winning. All they do is win, 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 no matter what.
Wow.
Does OpTic have an answer? So incredible. And by the way, let me just break down, because I said they've been playing this perfectly. They literally force the spawns into blue every single time, and then predicted what they would do from there every single time. So the first time, OpTic goes and takes A. They predict that, they let them do that so that they can then collapse on A, kill them all, and then tap A back for themselves, and then force them blue again. Next time they spawn blue, they say, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Let's try to go for C instead. FaZe also predicted that. Put them all at C. Guess what? They then went to A and made sure they spawned at blue again. And then they went to A and they let them cap it. And then they did it. They just repeated the same cycle twice over the course of 4 different spawn cycles of spawning them in blue. That's probably as perfect as you could possibly play that game type.
FaZe Clan has now won 5 games in a row here in this grand finals. 5 minutes was all they needed in game 1, Eli. My goodness, that's probably the best game of Solitude we've ever seen. The best game of Solitude Strongholds, maybe just Strongholds period, excuse me. Don't even need to put a map in front of it. And I think especially when you consider the circumstances, what's on the line. It's the Halo World Championship. It's the grand finals reset. I'm going to go ahead and say it. That was the best Strongholds game ever.
Playing against the defending world champions with everything on the line for $100,000 each.
And now I think for the first time in this series, OpTic has doubt. I think OpTic, because of the fact that, like you said, they're defending world champs, they probably got that bracket reset and said, it's okay, guys, we've been here before. Twice, in fact, to SSG and Cloud9. OpTic Gaming 4 for 4 in grand finals when they have that token in their back pocket. FaZe have swiped it away, though. No more token. The winner of this series is the winner of your Halo World Championship, and my goodness, I cannot imagine a better start.
And guess what? OpTic doesn't get a bathroom break this time. They don't get to break the sequence, because you can only take a bathroom break after every 2 games. And that's the kind of game you would wish you had a little break for, because, I mean, clearly something was wrong.
This is the equivalent of when the flashbang goes off and your ears are ringing, vision's blurry. I mean, OpTic just took a right hook haymaker from FaZe Clan. Can they pick themselves up off the mat as we hop on board here with Frosty? He's going to push through here on the P side, has Formal in his sights, APG down lane. He's ready for it.
FaZe probably feeling like they can do no wrong in this game type after that literal 1,000th of a second win that we saw earlier against SSG. Probably the craziest in-game I've ever seen in a game of Halo Infinite. Probably feeling pretty confident on this game type, but if you'll recall, OpTic has had some pretty good games on this game type this weekend as well. I think they nearly stake-tacular last time that they played on it.
It's a big win here for Renegade as he cleans up Formal and picks up 6 shots left in that heat wave. Going to put it to good use here as he pushes up again on that P side, spots Formal once again, and look at the support here. Royal 2 down to low shields. Lucid wants to clean him up, but FaZe do a good job to bait it out. Royal 2 stays alive the whole time, but my goodness, that was huge right there. And it feels like every kill is so needed here for OpTic Gaming. They need to mount a little bit of confidence. I imagine, just like we saw, I can't imagine they're reeling right now. I'm still stuck on that game 1. I need to let it go. You imagine it might still be in the heads of OpTic Gaming too. They need to let it go as well, but they seem to have with a 2-kill lead.
If they're going to stabilize, they're going to have to do it now. You got to stop the momentum from FaZe Clan. FaZe have won 5 games in a row. If you don't stop them now, you might never stop them.
Lucid's another guy that pretty stoic on the main stage. I've seen him make incredible shots, incredible plays, and he doesn't move an inch. There, he adjusted the microphone, yelled a little bit, looked a little surprised. So that's uncharacteristic, I would even argue.
Sure.
Facial expressions we're used to seeing from Lucid on the main stage. But OpTic Gaming hold on to that 2-kill lead. Frosty trying a couple shots out with that MK sidekick. 2 dynamos as well, and not going to do enough to get kills, but he does enough to get damage, and those 2 kills will get cleaned up. So well, Frosty goes down, but not before making sure 2 go down instead, and that keeps it a 2-kill game.
I've noticed that that's kind of the playstyle that Frosty has adopted with this new squad, including Renegade. He's often the player that just starts the play. He just goes straight in, does as much damage as possible. Trust the players like Royal 2 and Renegade will fly in and clean up that damage almost every time, and so far they have. Once again, Frosty in the very front of the push. Looks like he is backed up by a grenade, but looks like he's ready to do that every step of the way for this squad.
We go down for FaZe Clan, but OpTic Gaming now clinging to just a 1-kill lead. Formal spotting Frosty, and ooh, look at this grouping here for FaZe Clan. This could spell trouble, but Frosty gets a huge opening break kill here on Trippy. That's going to allow them the space here to move out.
So important to not get trapped in any corner of this map. If all 4 of you are in the fridge, it's very easy to get naded out. That's how SSG lost this game type in game 1, or sorry, in the first series of the day.
And look how quickly, Eli, FaZe went from being bunched up in a shoebox team of 4 to split 2-2 down the map. Now they're converging. Perfect ebb and flow here from FaZe Clan as they've now regained the lead.
Yes, but it's Trippy and Formal finding some kills. They're not going to make it easy.
Back and forth. OpTic now with the 1-kill lead. Formal pushing up here, looking to spot opponents. Expects a little trickle out from the blue refrigerator. Trippy's going to have to force it, but Trippy goes down. Formal's not going to have the play he sought.
Very interesting what I just saw there. It looked like both Formal and APG were going for the thrust at the same time. Maybe you have a bit of a miscommunication. It's important to say, like, hey, I'm going to do that so that both of you don't end up in the middle of the map. Formal having to disengage in a situation that had he stayed up top, they could have actually collapsed on all the members in the fridge there. So maybe a slight miscommunication from the side of OpTic.
Yeah, Formal had the exit on lock, but nobody exited. Instead, FaZe broke through. Down 1, 17-18. Formal to clean up. Frosty does just that. Now looking to clean up Renegade. Renegade with that needler. No, he's got the grenade. BR cleanup instead. Formal was absolute, only needing a body shot instead. Tied all, 19.
This is a critical point in the game. It's very possible one of these teams could start to break out to a lead. We've got good positioning here on the side of OpTic. We've also got good items. Shock grenades come in. Member of FaZe Clan with the quantum translocator is going to be a bit of a harassment tactic here. Doing some damage, immediately teleporting back out. It's going to make it hard for OpTic to really manage the situation.
APG getting some crucial shots down, but 2 go down for OpTic Gaming, and if APG can just stay alive, that's going to be massive.
Does a fantastic job staying alive, but also holding certain sight lines that the rest of his team could not see. Able to also disengage from a fight when he was one-shot. Trusted Formal to finish the kill, which he did. It's going to keep the game very close here.
APG staying alive here, despite numbers advantage for FaZe. Maintains possession of that 50-yard line, that top mid-map control for OpTic Gaming. Such a huge heads-up play there from that veteran APG as he looks to push on through the P side of the map. As Renegade down to 1 shot, takes him down, but he goes down 2.
Tied, 24 apiece. 6.5 minutes on the clock. Unless this game slows down significantly, we should see a 50-kill game. Not on pace for a timeout this time, but as the game gets closer to the end, pressure also mounting. Could see a slowdown at some point.
And it feels like it might be here. Royal 2 has that sidekick in his hand. Formation on the top right for OpTic, bottom left for FaZe Clan. So if you folded the map in half, they'd be right on top of each other.
See them prioritizing the thruster. So important that they have that into the next engagement. That could be just a slight edge that they could have to win the next engagement. In standoffs like this, both teams are really just vying for positioning, trying to get some clean damage. Once they get some damage or a pick, might be the catalyst for a push, as we see here. Looks like one player going down on the side of FaZe. Will OpTic choose this moment to push, but they're all holding up in the fridge while one shot not where you want to be here.
Royal 2 previously squatting in the back of yellow base makes me think he thought OpTic was maybe at yellow generator, or maybe even car 2. Instead, OpTic pushed on the blue fridge, and they got the beat on FaZe Clan, and they turned that now into a 3-kill lead. Frosty now pushing up the top pink. Formal not able to land that sticky, but goes down nonetheless. Snakebite cleaning it up. Frosty now taking shots on APG, using the thruster. Takes him down cleanly. 3 go down for OpTic Gaming, and it's back to a 1-kill game.
That shows just how important the thruster is, though. It's just that slight edge. It does essentially, it feels like it disables aim assist when you're shooting a player at mid-thrust. And right there was the difference maker in that fight. I think if Frosty did not have thrust, he probably would have lost that fight to APG after APG hit some very nice shots of his own.
Frosty with 3 thrusters to work with. Wants his teammates to know there's another fresh one up on the yellow side, and he's calling for help. Frosty with that heat wave out, flips it to the horizontal mode, looking to just get the finishing touches of one of these members of OpTic Gaming, but they're not going to push through. 28-30, OpTic Gaming now with a 2-kill lead. Lucid at top mid. Great disengagement there right before Frosty could get the final shot in him.
2-kill lead for OpTic. Gonna have to hold on to it, though.
The last one does feel like it's pacing to that.
Yeah, now it is. It has slowed down significantly ever since I brought it up. Players might have heard me, said, you know, maybe we should slow down. And here they go. There is an opening kill on both sides. Actually, no, 2 go down for OpTic. That's why we see the collapse coming in. Frosty getting a kill, trying to disengage. He is traded out, but not before FaZe takes a slight lead. But we're looking to see perhaps a server crash as the observer is finding multiple players running into walls. So gonna have to check the tape.
3-2, 3-1 is what I saw.
Yeah.
It'll be a 1-kill lead
For FaZe.
for FaZe.
Despite OpTic having the lead for a majority of it, but like we said, it does depend on the timing of the reset. Whenever the reset occurs.
Oh, it was an observer crash. This is great. It was not a game crash. This is an observer crash, Eli, which is why the field of view, the offsets all look completely new, but we don't have, most importantly, a new game. We battle on 35-32. FaZe Clan and Frosty with the lead. 3 to go.
FaZe Clan now taking the biggest lead we've seen in quite some time. Now up by 5, and they're continuing to roll. This is what happens when you get 1 dead, you collapse on the rest, you continue to press your advantage state. Look at this quick rotation on the opposite side of the map. They're predicting potential new spawn locations for the enemy. Frosty just taking this angle, expecting OpTic to decide they want to take space at car 2. If they decide to do so like they have, what a great prediction from Frosty. He knows the game plan of OpTic Gaming. They've studied the tape. They said, I know what you do in this situation. When you spawn up, you're going to try to go car 2. And he just sat there and waited. Ultimately gets taken down, though.
Just as FaZe Clan built a big lead, it's back down to 3. This one's been back and forth all throughout. Hopping back on board here with Frosty. QT up in 15. Battle ensues on. Not able to tell because of the theater mode who he's shooting at, so apologize at home to not provide as much context as we'd like here on the broadcast, but for now we know Frosty is looking to stay alive, looking to push up here with some teammate support. And I think because of the time, 2 minutes left, up 2, FaZe is going to bait. Trippy's going to take it. Trippy's going to go down. But Frosty goes down shortly after. 40-38, 41-39, 2-kill lead for FaZe Clan heading into the 40s.
Going to be very curious to see if teams decide to stay aggressive here. Right now, it doesn't look like either team has a good reason to get aggressive. It is OpTic, the team that needs to close the gap, though, with just a minute and a half remaining. It feels like they're the ones up against the 8 ball here. And FaZe kind of condensing back into the gold base here, which it's traditionally not thought to be a good play on this map because it's easy to get collapsed on. But if they take the right angles, they could actually just shred any enemies that come in. They're just baiting them. They say, I know you have to come to me, and I'm going to wait for you to show up, and me and my homies are going to jump you. That's kind of what it looks like here.
FaZe is looking to draw in this OpTic Gaming roster, and they've done just that. Lucid with the heat wave. He's got something to work with. 41 all. Less than a minute to go. And with that push, OpTic have regained the lead. 42 all now. 50 seconds left to go. And Snakebite goes down to what looked like a ninja from Trippy.
43, 42, 45 seconds. Are we going to see another last second overtime activation? If the score is tied when the time expires, then it activates an extra 3 minutes on the game clock. Saw it once today already with just a millisecond left in the match. Could be pacing towards a similar situation.
Unbelievable. FaZe were previously up by a 2-possession lead just moments ago. Now it's OpTic up 1. Lucid looking to make it 2, but oh, the windmill comes through, and Lucid goes down. Renegade with a huge win. 44 all, 15 seconds left, and a huge slay there on Renegade. If FaZe can just hold strong, hold defensively here, they'll win game 2. 10 seconds left to go. Renegade pushing through. He senses that because of that player's weak, it's APG, and that should do it. 46 all. OpTic play at the final second. What? And they steal it. No, what? We're going to OT. How is it possible that 2 Aquarius Slayers come down to the final nanoseconds? We're in sudden death. OpTic needs 2, FaZe needs 3.
Absolutely insanity that we're witnessing here. Now the clock fully resets, so now both teams having to play this timeout. One team's going to get, it's either OpTic who needs 2 or FaZe who needs 3. FaZe currently trapped.
Dueling chance. Two of the best teams in the world dueling it out here at the Halo World Championship Grand Finals reset. 47-48, OpTic Gaming retain possession of the lead. It's on FaZe Clan to push through.
But OpTic OpTic is playing so far back here. They're not able to surround all these players that should be easily surrounded. It feels like OpTic may be playing a little bit too safe, but as I say that, they recognize the situation. Now they're going to push up, but FaZe has leaked all the way into the P side. Are they able to cut this off on the other side?
Shots. This could be the closeout. This could be the miraculous Game 2 victory that OpTic needs to tie this series up and stop the bleeding they previously lost.
49-49
in a row, but it's 49 all. A minute 41 to go. The MVP.
Lucid does not want to die here.
Screen.
He's not in a great position. Doesn't have any help either. If FaZe recognize this, they're going to just jump him. Doesn't look like they're aware of his positioning yet. He might find a sneaky play here. Neither team's going to want to push. One team's going to have to make a move here. It's better to be proactive in these situations than be reactive. You want to be the one that controls your destiny here.
But we saw SSG previously make a move with 0 seconds left, and FaZe Clan found the counter. Can they find the 50th and final kill? Formal seeking intel with those grenades. A lot of grenades going out right now seeking intel, but no damage going out. No players pushing out of their positions right now as Formal spots Royal 2.
Formal recognizing
the final gunfight of this game.
Formal recognizing that he had some space to work with on that P side, but doesn't feel comfortable to push all the way out. All these members pushing out to the car side. Huge battle ensues, and it's Snakebite gets the last kill. Continuing the run of dominance. You see the smirk on Royal 2's face. He said, I can't believe that just happened.
That looked like the smirk of a 2023 world champion, dare I say.
The little smirk on his face. He said, what? Did that really just happen? Good job, guys.
The look on that fan's face, you're not seeing it on the face of OpTic Gaming, but that's what they're feeling internally right now. I cannot believe what we just witnessed. Eli, we talked about the nanosecond finish on the previous Aqua Slayer. We thought that was the craziest game we've ever seen in our lifetime, but we got one better. How is it even possible? And how does OpTic Gaming come back after losing now 6 in a row in the grand finals?
Insane stuff, man. I need to watch that. The point at which overtime was activated, there was 4 or 5 kills in the kill feed, I'm pretty sure. Because it was everything happened so fast, but it just so happened that during the nanosecond that the clock struck 0. Yeah, see, at this point, I believe it's 47-47 when it activates. They're up by 2 with 5 to go. 2 die here at 46-46. I think a trade happens right here. No.
Yes,
still 46-46. And whoa. Right after it is when the next kill happens. So it was 46-46 for a few seconds as the clock wound down. But there was, just before that, a 2-kill advantage for FaZe. And then this just creates the most nerve-wracking stalemate. Can you imagine being one of these players on this stage right here?
No, because I'm having a hard time even putting together collective words for the broadcast right now. I don't know what to think. That was the most soul-crushing loss I've ever witnessed, maybe. And now, for OpTic Gaming, it's on them to regain.
This play right here, where you see Snakebites G-slide out on the P side, has to be one of the ballsiest decisions to make in that moment. I don't know if they couldn't possibly know that P side was fully clear there, but they just took the chance and understood that they didn't want to get collapsed on. But I believe it's due to the hesitation from OpTic. If they were aware that all members of FaZe were trapped in blue, they would have quickly sent 2 and 2 to each side.
Right here, it feels like it's over once again. And it happened previously right before the reset where they were up 2 and then they got that 47-46 kill. How does OpTic Gaming not come away with a win here in this game? I feel like, Eli, talk about a VOD review coaching session. You need an hour to break down the tape.
Oh, I'm breaking this down when I get home, trust. This is absolute insanity, man. 250-49s on Aqua's TS just today.
OT. 0-0 on the clock.
0-0 OT team
how
Slayer.
many sprinkles and cherries are we going to add on top of this ice cream, man? This has been a delicious treat for ourselves, man. Wow.
My prediction was that this tournament, we would see games won by literally the slimmest of margins, and so far that's been absolutely the case. I mean, it's just been the ice time and time again on the side of FaZe Clan. After a completely dominant game 1 in the bracket reset, they then find the ice in the second game. And if you're OpTic here, how bad does this feel right now? You've now lost 6 in a row to these guys. The 2 games ago, it was a complete blowout where they gave you 0 options to even play the video game. This next game, you should have had the win to maybe stop their momentum, but a win like this only further cements that momentum. Despite being a close loss, maybe you could get some wins out of that, but how does this even play out? Who dies here?
Renegade with the thrust at Car
Lucid dies.
was huge. APG had the beat on him. That's why he extended and ultimately overextended, you could make the argument, to get this finishing kill. Look at Renegade all the while. Snakebite.
What crazy positioning. They're inside each other's Spartans. It's actually kind of smart on the side of FaZe Clan. Make it that much harder to get a kill. Sending 3 car 2 in that situation is absolutely bonkers, but it works out.
Post the text on the end of that screen. Could you go back? I saw like something interesting it looked like, but wow.
I mean, maybe we just unlocked an Easter egg in Halo Infinite because we had the most.
I saw text on the screen that I've never seen before. Let's take a look here. This might be something.
Enemy had highest score at end of overtime. What? Dude.
Let's go, dude. A little Easter egg being unlocked here, and we love those from Halo 2, 3 campaign runs, Lasso.
Man.
And it feels like we're getting a Lasso Grand Finals here as we have a 2-0 lead for FaZe Clan. Now, FaZe have put the onus on OpTic to do what they just did to them. OpTic now need not necessarily 4 in a row, but it kind of feels like it, doesn't it, Eli?
It does. I can guarantee you there's some people watching this that have 30,000 games of Halo Infinite played, and they've never seen that text. Because how often does a match-made game go to overtime in Slayer? It never does.
Yep.
So we're seeing some stuff that we rarely ever see. I do remember in Anaheim last year, there was a recharge game that went to Team Slayer overtime, but 2 in a single day, that's definitely never happened.
I just go back to that smirk.
Yeah, the royalty smirk at the end.
It really did to me, Eli, have the look and feel, most importantly, the feel of a guy who felt like he's bound to be the Halo World Champ. I just, like, the level of confidence, it wasn't a cocky smirk, it was an assuring smirk.
I mean, after the last 2 games, the last 6 games even, how do you not feel like Destiny is on your side? I mean,
you have to at this point. And that is, my God, you don't need to, if you're FaZe Clan, any of these 4 individual members, you don't need any more confidence to compete here in the Grand Finals, but somehow they seem to have found another level. So we have our Game 3 on our hands. We said it was a must-win for FaZe in the last series. It's a must-win now for OpTic Gaming, as they cannot let this go to 7 wins in a row. It's just,
yeah, I mean, that would put FaZe on match point if they lose this game. And I will say, the upside right now is this has historically been OpTic's game type.
And it's oddball. So this is the perfect game mode for OpTic Gaming to take the next 20 minutes to figure it the hell out. I was about to say something else because I feel like the moment calls for it, but I'm going to refrain from getting fined by LVT Halo or the HS here. And I'm going to let Trippy do his thing here instead with the Heat Wave. Overshield as well, but my God, that Overshield gets melted and the Heat Wave does nothing.
Yeah, just great positioning from FaZe. It seems like this confidence is boiling over into nearly flawless team play engagements. Their tactical positioning around each other in these last few games has been nearly flawless in the moments that matter most.
Snakebite could have waited on the oddball there, but with low shields, he would have went down because of the grenades. Great recognition of that as he turns the corner around the dummy door, and now turns the corner to top snipe with that oddball in his hand. That's why he's one of the best in the game.
People were telling me earlier today, I don't know, man, OpTic looks too strong. Formal's doing formal things, but I said I've been watching Frosty more than anyone else, and he looks undeniable today.
6-2, 3.0 KD. Makes sense why. It's actually Renegade who's been popping off, sitting at 0-3. We're going to get on the board here in this Game 3. That oddball gets reset. A virtual tie here, 2018.
Renegade finding APG here. Still fighting for the tower control. Both teams understanding how important it is to have control of that. FaZe, the team, coming out on top once again in an important engagement as Overshield's coming up.
A 2-for-1 win when you take down the enemy team and you get an Overshield to work with as well. Frosty working with that repulsor, make sure he takes down Formal. Now APG not going to have a chance in this gunfight against Snakebite. Trippy isn't either. And if you're Lucid, doesn't matter that you're the Season 1 MVP, you'll go down as well, as Renegade does in fact clean him up. And now, it's like FaZe have them in a blender a little bit, despite a good start from OpTic Gaming.
Love the heads-up awareness. I mean, this is perfect understanding of the spawn system. That fight took long enough that they knew by the time Lucid died, the first spawner had already spawned. They thought back to the positioning throughout the play and said, okay, that first spawner's probably spawned B. He's going to also influence his teammates to spawn B. That's why we quickly see Snakebite rotate across C plat, take angles to B. They just know exactly where everyone is, man. They have the spawn system figured out, and it's honestly not that hard to figure out if you just try. But these guys doing it perfectly when it comes to predicting exactly when and where people spawn, and then extrapolating from there where the rest of the team was likely to spawn as well.
Snakebite chewing his gum like a madman, and he's looking like one too, with incredible objective efficiency here in this game. Stays alive. Wow, gets shot through. Another kill through the shroud screen.
Blind fire.
Blind fire happens often here. Renegade, overkill potential, but Formal shuts it down, and that felt like a must-have for Formal. You cannot let FaZe get an overkill, go up 70 to 18. It's starting to get a little out of hand here for OpTic Gaming.
You're going to need a player like Formal with the will of the gods to slow down this group of demons. Because right now, that's what they're facing. These guys are hungry for their first Halo Infinite World Championship. 3 of these players have Halo 5. Actually, all these players have Halo 5 World Championships. But this would be each of their first Halo Infinite in their second season here.
Snakebite going to stay alive. It's enough to get both of those OpTic Gaming members down to no shields, but going to be enough to take them down. As it looks like FaZe isn't in position to clean up those kills. Lucid does in fact go down. Renegade now pushing up. Numbers advantage, it looks like, via the shield system. And he's going to utilize that to take down Formal.
Renegade using the classic assault rifle skin. A little bit decked out this time, though. Looks like Exhibit from Pimp My Ride found the Halo 1 assault rifle. Right now we're seeing him just being a menace, though. He's just traveling through bottom, middle, left, and right.
FaZe only need 4 seconds. OpTic go 3 down, and if Roll 2 gets around the corner, that'll do it. FaZe, they sped run game 1 of this Grand Finals reset. Now they're speed running round 1 of this game 3.
This momentum might just be too much to overcome. So far, FaZe just riding this wave. Like I said, they're playing these team engagement situations tactically perfectly around one another to always end up on top, and that's why they have a blowout in round 1. If they can keep this momentum up, this tournament might be over soon.
OpTic Gaming, they've been here before in the Grand Finals of last year's Halo World Championship, where Cloud9 were able to reset the bracket. Woo! Something looks different about this year, as Renegade has been the difference maker with that snipe in his hand. Lands another no-scope medal to his name, and it's going to open up more time, it looks like, for FaZe. And another OS. This is getting out of control.
If you'll recall the first tournament that FaZe won, I believe they faced SSG in the Grand Finals and 4-0'd them. Looked like SSG had no answers, and that's what OpTic looks like right now. They had a few answers early in the series, but FaZe remembered just how dangerous they can be, and they are executing in every single situation. They've been blowing out OpTic for the last 6 games and 6.5 games now after round 1.
Renegade finds a way to trade out. That is why he is so talented. Another chant coming through from the FaZe crowd, and that's something that we don't expect. Usually OpTic, no matter what, their fans are always louder. We haven't heard them at all, really, ever since this streak began for FaZe Clan. But for what it's worth, OpTic isn't giving them a reason to cheer. They need to do something here, and they got to do it now. Already down 30 seconds in round 2. Royal 2 is just adding onto the scoreboard.
OpTic fans, I think OpTic needs your energy. Like to hear them start a chant regardless if they're going to keep their team in this. Right now the FaZe fans are very loud. You know the players on OpTic can hear them.
FaZe Clan started the season like this. They're up by a kill count margin of 21. However, they didn't have the objective efficiency to win out those games sometimes. Losing despite having 20+ kills on their opponent, but throughout the season, they have matured and grown. They have increased that objective efficiency, and we are seeing that on display here in this Grand Finals reset.
They're being efficient in more than just the objective, though. I mean, they've been getting a significant amount of overshields. They often have the sniper, just keeping the enemy off the map. I mean, what chance does OpTic have to do any objective if they've been dead for half the game? And Snakebite with half an OS left is just going to happily get some ball time. Just going to rotate this towards his last spawner because that's often the safest part of the map. Heads up awareness from the team captain here is going to be just fine holding this until OpTic forces him not to.
Yeah, and the worst case scenario here for FaZe Clan is they reset the oddball with what, a minute lead?
Exactly.
That's what we'll see. Not a minute in total, but just about. As 3 do go down for FaZe Clan. Frosty, last member alive, and that is another one of those last Spartan standing plays that make a huge difference. But because of 3 going down previously for FaZe Clan, Frosty going to have to do a little bit more to retain possession of that on-ball as the Needler goes to work. So too does Lucid, getting 2 kills with that Bandit rifle. But despite the recent slays from OpTic Gaming, that oddball's actually inching closer to FaZe.
Yeah, Tribby started to rotate the ball through bottom mid before FaZe had spawned there. Recognized that they did spawn there. He's going to now rotate the opposite direction. So great plays overall from Trippy in the last couple engagements here.
You just had to stop that bleeding. You just had to stop that momentum. Otherwise, it would trickle into the 4th and final game, but what I would imagine would be a sweep here. It just feels that way, but instead, OpTic Gaming have reset themselves and regained another 3 down go FaZe Clan. Lucid now with a sniper in his hand. OpTic also with sniper tower control, oddball control. Things are starting to look up for them, and it could look even better if they secure this next OS. FaZe has had all of them.
Interesting rotation from Lucid here. I guess he was aware that FaZe was about to take the tower from his teammates. Wanted to take a position that he could potentially contest the OS. The last couple rounds of the sniper. Predicts that player to rush him, drops to repulse him. Renegade just being the hardest kill ever, though. Unbelievable for Renegade to come out on top in that situation.
That's Renegade is the last player alive there. Taking down Lucid. If he gets away with the OS, that's an even bigger win. FaZe Clan is this lead, this OS, going to slay out. No, instead they're actually going to grab this off-ball and continue rotating it to Snipe Tower, despite the fact that an entire gunfight is still going on. Formal has a 2v1 situation on his hands, take down Snakebite, but not going to be able to take down Renegade. Look at that. The whole time the distraction on Renegade, everyone's focused on him, but Frosty's got the oddball at the top of Snipe, and he might find himself a nice reset here. Renegade will instead. Perfect process here from Renegade.
Also drops the heat wave, though. Not sure how much ammo was left, but Snakebite, it just seems like every time members of FaZe are going down, there's somebody still left to clean up the situation. They're always just a half a life ahead of OpTic, which sometimes just leads to these insurmountable leads. OpTic finally getting the better in the engagement, thanks to Lucid stepping it up here. Now 20 and 14, he's really trying to will his team to victory.
Now, OpTic Gaming cut the lead in half. Back, they're only down by about 10 seconds. This is impressive regain here for OpTic Gaming. It felt like things were spiraling out of control, but with that reset, Formal, OpTic go 4 down, but not before getting down by 12, but this reset win for FaZe is going to allow them to extend on this lead.
Maybe I'm reading into it here, but the body language from Lucid in the kill cam, every time he's dead, he's like touching the mic and moving it closer. It feels like he's desperate to be heard, and it's like he thinks that maybe his mic isn't working because people aren't responding to what he's doing, and it feels frantic, right?
It's not the first time we've seen that. We mentioned that in the previous Grand Finals, that Lucid was adjusting his mic a lot after going down, and I think that's a great call, Eli. Maybe wishing to be heard.
I'd love to have a listen in. We don't have the capability on this stream, but man, the comms on the side of OpTic are probably not what we're used to hearing. They're usually calm and collected, but after this...
That'll do it. That's it.
After this now 7-game thrashing, you got to imagine the comms on the side of OpTic do not sound like OpTic comms.
When have OpTic ever lost 7 games in a row? This is the first time in their team's history.
Has to be.
Has to be. I just can't imagine they've ever looked... I don't even want to say this low because I think it's FaZe Clan really soaring high. FaZe Clan has just been one better, maybe 10 better. More fair to say. After game 2, it's been all FaZe.
Fans on the side of FaZe Clan letting you know how they feel about it. They said, I want this to be over. I want to celebrate and drink immediately. That's what they're saying right now.
Is that what you want to do, Eli?
I mean, I'm down, but yeah. I want to watch the end of the series first. I mean, this is some incredible Halo. We've got Recharge, King of the Hill up next. I mean, you got to start thinking like, okay, what are good game types for them to come back? And I don't know if there's any. They got to take a gut check here and say like, we just got to step up, because right now FaZe is just one step ahead, and it feels like they're doing everything right in almost every scenario.
Eli, I'm usually able to build a case for teams as to how they can build the path to come back. It's usually really easy to build that case for OpTic Gaming, but I sit here with my arms up in the air, not knowing what that case looks like, not knowing what that path looks like here for OpTic Gaming. Can you help me out here and tell me what that looks like here on Recharge? I mean, what can they do to stop this FaZe run? One of the best runs we've ever seen in Halo, honestly.
I don't know, man. I don't see them backstage. I don't see them talking it out. I don't see them powwowing. Are they submitting? This feels like a surrender. They also didn't take a break after that insane Aquarius game, which they were allotted if they wanted.
That's very interesting to note. That's extremely interesting.
When they skip the break, I think they actually they don't have the opportunity to take the break at the next game. So hypothetically, OpTic would actually have to win this next game to be allotted another break. So that's not good. They don't have a good opportunity to reset the mental and talk it out. But at this stage, none of their previous talks have really helped that much either. I think it's just FaZe too far ahead right now. I mean,
man,
Recharge King of the Hill, though, is historically pretty good for OpTic, but this heat that we're seeing from FaZe Clan...
Look at this.
Oh, wait.
Did OpTic just get up?
OpTic did get up. I don't think
they FaZe is going to. I guarantee you, they're all...
Oh,
no. There we go. I think... Noticing that OpTic has taken their break. You can see the admin and the ref talking to the coach Royal 1. It looks like he's telling them, look, if you guys want to take a break, we're going to give one to Opt because they didn't take it after game 2. What's interesting?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just speaking from experience. When I was a coach, and I remember the rules when we were allowed to take our breaks.
Absolutely.
It's usually after games 2 and 4.
Yep.
Clearly, none of the teams I coach got the grand final, so there could be a slightly different for a best of 7. Could be slightly different rules in that regard. But for a best of 5, you can only take a break after games 2 and 4. So, looks like OpTic is taking that break. Backs against the wall. It's kind of like you got to use your timeout here and now. I mean, game of basketball, game of football, like you got your timeout and you know when you got to take it. Right now is when you take the timeout.
This is a great stat for you. Since the 0-2 start in the grand finals, Renegade and Royal 2 haven't stopped slaying out. And looks like both teams will, in fact, take that break as we see both walk backstage here behind the grand stage, grand finals. But what do you make out of this? Renegade and Royal 2, those are the two main Slayers, you could say. I think Frosty also fits into that role. We know Snakebite is that OBJ guy, but he's also liable to put up stats just like this, man. It just seems like there's nothing OpTic can do.
What I make out of that is there's a lot of people in the conversation for best player in the game, right? But each of them is not that person on any given day. It's just when they're playing to their potential, they are that player, right? For me, at the top of that list is Royal 2 and Renegade. And I've been saying Royal 2 could be the best player in the game since it came out. These guys, his Halo IQ is off the charts. He hits his shots. He's got one of the best shots in the game. He's just insane.
It's kind of funny because I think sometimes people think of these FaZe Clan members, Royal 2 and Snakebite specifically, maybe as Halo 5 players, H5 kids. Let's not forget, at the 2011 National Championship in Halo Reach, alongside Flamesword and Enable, they won the National Championship. So, it was 13 years ago. These guys are as established as Gilkey, APG on the other side for OpTic Gaming, and you just forget sometimes how long these guys have been doing it. And it was a great reminder here walking through the halls of the Seattle Convention Center. They've got all the banners up for all the Halo World Champions and National Champions, and couldn't help but notice that. 2011. These guys have been national champs, world champs long ago, and it looks like they might just have another one.
They're looking very hard to beat right now. And what I was getting at is there's some players that when they're playing their best look unbeatable. And Renegade and Royal 2 are two of those people. And the thing is, Lucid is also one of those players, but the thing is, right now, he's not playing his best.
And look at Lucid here in this moment, has the most OBJ time for OpTic Gaming. That's uncharacteristic as well.
It feels like he is overwhelmed and being forced to do more than he's comfortable with, which is taken away from his ability to slay out. I mean, he's also missed these 2 snipes, so we're not used to seeing him miss. He looks visibly frustrated, stroking the beard there. I do that when I'm deep in thought. You know, and maybe he's just thinking, how can I possibly change what's currently happening. He did have a great game at that game. That was when he started to step up, but...
All right, there you go. You get a little sneak peek at us behind the scenes, and the main focus is FaZe, Frosty. You get a peek back behind the curtains at that pro player area that we were discussing when we get eyes on these guys going back to the stage to potentially win this grand final, man. Wow, I'm still at a loss for words.
I'm thinking, all right, what did that talk just sound like on either side? You know what the talk was with FaZe? They said, all right, let's just close this out.
I don't think they said anything. They probably just looked at each other.
I mean, they said
confidently.
Maybe a few things like, all right, let's just close this out. We know how to do this.
Right. One word, one sentence.
That's it. But on the side of OpTic, there's probably a lot more to talk about.
Well, Lunchbox, Coach of the Year. He's going to have to show every bit why here is, my God, that'd be a masterclass. And changing it up on the fly is, you're going to have to just, at this point, Eli, what? Not necessarily throw all the strategy out, but something's got to give. Something's got to change here for OpTic Gaming. And I don't know, maybe if I am Lunchbox, you got one A, B, C. Maybe I'm going with one Z, right? Maybe I'm just throwing the most wild strat out there that we've discussed as a team and putting it on display here because nothing has seemed to work ever since they went up 2-0 in the grand finals. It's crazy to just, I have to recollect my thoughts there, and it's crazy to think that OpTic at one point was up 2-0 and like they were going to go up 3-0 potentially as well. So this has just been unbelievable. What a grand finals.
I mean, what I'm noticing too is FaZe Clan is just playing like loose and free and like confident, right? Like they're just kind of flowing together around the map. They're just flow state, thinking about how they can best position themselves to clean up each other's damage. They're playing each fight tactically very well, whereas I feel a bit more rigid on the side of OpTic. And rigidity is not good for like fluid, optimal gameplay. You have to be able to flow around one another as you play this game, and I just think that that like loose, aggressive, confident style out of FaZe is going to continue to steamroll a timid and rigid team like the way OpTic has been playing.
When you're tight, you overthink. When you're loose, you almost get into that flow state.
Yeah, you just don't
subconscious.
You just do it.
You're robotic at that point. You've put your 10,000 hours in plus for a Halo Pro. Now it's
just got to execute.
It's time to execute. And I feel like that for us, we talked about that for us. Joining the broadcast, this is our first time essentially working together. My first time ever doing play-by-play. And we talked about our advantage is the experience, right? We've known each other for 20 years.
We're playing the game for 20 years.
Let's fall back on that. Let's rely on it. And look at how far back OpTic went to the very back of the venue. This is like they didn't even go to the pro player restroom. This is they left the venue. It seems.
I think Formal might have needed a cigarette after 7 games.
I think I am 100% certain that they left the venue.
They wanted some fresh air. I think Formal wanted a cigarette. No, it's no secret. The man likes his nicotine. As a former smoker, I know what it's like to need your nicotine. It's probably something that's going to help out the mental here, I think. So a little bit of fresh air can go a long way in a situation like this as well. They probably had a good conversation. Just walked right past us here. Got the whole camera crew coming through the back. This is an epic moment. Can you imagine if this was the reset they needed to start their track into a reverse sweep? It's possible, guys. OpTic Gaming have had their backs against the wall. They've been reset in 2 different grand finals before today. And both times they iced up and won, but they've never faced adversity quite like this. They've never been down 3-0 and had to reverse sweep. If they're able to pull it off, we're going to, first of all, be here a while, but also it'll be one of the most impressive comeback wins of all time.
This would be the most incredible reverse sweep in Halo history, maybe even esports history, because when you consider the fact that FaZe Clan came into this resetting the grand finals, they have won, if you're just joining us at home, 7 games in a row. I find that hard to believe as we see Frosty. He says, if you guys are going to take a little extra time to take a break, maybe step outside the venue, I'm just going to continue to lock in and practice my shock rifle shots.
Yeah, he's just shooting bots.
Which is the next map they're going to. I actually think it's really smart to load up into recharge. It's a simple thing, but that's important. I think warm up on the map you're about to play. This is an oddity, right? This is an odd game 3 going into game 4 break. OpTic Gaming literally just left the venue. So Frosty says, you know what, I'm just gonna load up recharge a little early, I guess.
So I'm not sure exactly. Okay, so through these 3 maps in the reset, these are the stats. And I mean, what I'm looking at most is, I mean, not only Renegade's 1.78 guys absolutely slaying out, but on the side of OpTic, Trippy with a 0.5. I mean, in 3 games to have twice as many deaths than kills. I don't know if Trippy's ever done that in 3 games. The guy's been one of the best to ever do it. So clearly something's been off. Something's been rattled on the side of OpTic, and I really do hope that whatever just transpired in their powwow, it's going to help them reset mentally here. They absolutely need it. This is backs against the wall at the World Championship. They don't have any room for error from this point forward. They've executed before. They just need to execute again.
But for OpTic Gaming and the coach Lunchbox, he doesn't need to tell his boys, we have to play perfect Halo, right?
Right.
They know that. So what could he be saying as we load up a King of the Hill recharge, we're back in action?
I think you just got to just be zen about it. Just reset. Like, look, we know what we have to do. Let's do it. We know how to win these games. Let's listen to each other more.
I don't think they had a long strategical conversation walking outside the venue. They literally just wanted some fresh air and a chance to take a deep breath and decompress.
If anything,
it looked stressful on the face cam.
Yeah, if anything, I think that the conversation could have been about their communication, because like I said, my sense was that the comms were frantic and maybe they're talking over each other and certain things aren't being heard. It's going to take a hit to the teamwork aspect of this game, which is, that is the skill gap, is your teamwork. So I think that if there was a conversation, it's probably like, let's stop talking over each other, man. We just gotta like take it one step at a time, think through every engagement, and let's just work together. That's what they need to do here.
Big game Trippy, that's his nickname. And he needs to have a big game here on Koth Recharge. We said some of these games before the closeout game were must-wins. This one unequivocally is, because if OpTic Gaming can't win the next 4 in a row, FaZe Clan will be your 2023 Halo World Champions, and a little bit of extra drama and intrigue to add to it as we wait a little bit longer for this game to start.
I mean, every game for the rest of the night is a must-win for both teams.
Right, and the hardest game is always the closeout game. So it is on FaZe Clan, you could argue here a little bit, to close things out, but my God, it feels like they've been closing things out ever since Game 3 of, again, that previous Grand Finals 1.
Yeah, let's think back to OpTic's last time on King of the Hill against SSG. They made some pretty clutch plays to close it out, so I'm looking to see more of that. I want to see the version of OpTic that we saw against SSG moving into this game number 4 in the Grand Finals reset.
First 2 slays in the game. FaZe, so 2 does the shock rifle, so 2 does the hill. Snakebite occupies that space. Lucid, not spotting him though. Wasn't the camo use there from Snakebite. Love the grab there to grab Camo and stay on the hill. Look at this, Snakebite's not even gonna go seek out any other intel or any other damage. He just wants more points.
Not a kill on the side of OpTic yet. And that was weird from Lucid to me. I mean, he just kind of sat there. He knows the camo guy is looking at him dead in the face, but he just sat there. I don't know.
Shot to gather intel, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't see the guy, throw a grenade or something. I don't know. He just kind of sat there. That was kind of strange.
Massive sticky there from APG as he's got the shock rifle in his hands now. OpTic able to stop FaZe Clan at the 75, call it 80% mark, but FaZe are right back in it. APG with the crowd chanting his name, looking to make a huge play here with that shock rifle in his hand. Like he had Frosty, but it was enough to get an assist.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a good looking shot. I mean, probably a millimeter from the headshot. Doesn't look like these guys are out of it yet. So far, the early game heavily in FaZe's favor, though. They also have the better map positioning for this hill, which means they're going to have more favorable spawns. Also going to have a better rotation to the next hill, but APG going to play spoiler. It's going to take some perfect gameplay from here to get the rest of this hill, though.
More shock rifle to use for APG. It's going to be all battle rifle in what could be the last game we see the battle rifle start. As 3 go down for FaZe Clan, but despite Renegade being the last player alive, he's going to get a hell of a lot of damage, and the slay on APG. Surprised that OpTic would allow that after taking 3 down, but they've done a great job to stagger Trippy versus Frosty here in a 1v1. This is for the potential hill, but Frosty wins it! Frosty wins it! And FaZe should win this first hill as well because of it. What a 1v1 win there.
Going to take their time, though. The camo is up as well. Renegade getting this kill means I would bet they're going to step in the hill here soon. Look at how well they're playing every situation, though. They're not desperating the last couple seconds. They're waiting till it absolutely makes sense. They had some time to work with. They want to make sure they get the camo. They're getting the absolute most out of every situation instead of, you know, slightly desperating. We're also picking up the shock rifle, the exact frame that it respawns. I mean, they're firing on all cylinders right now.
Flow state, a collective flow state. It's not just Renegade, excuse me. It's the entire FaZe roster is Renegade. Switches up for perfect shots. Looking for the second, doesn't spot him. Now takes that hill time, and that's 2 times we've seen FaZe members with the camo playing for the OBJ.
3 dead.
It though goes down.
Huge double kill out of APG. We saw it off the screen in the kill feed. Not sure how he was able to earn that, but that certainly opened up the map for his team. APG looking to keep themselves alive. APG and the rest of OpTic looking to keep themselves alive in this tournament. Formal with the shock is a good start.
Formal with the game, and maybe even you could argue the series in his hands here. Does OpTic need to start doing something here? FaZe already with that 1-0 lead in this game. They started off with the first couple of kills. It's all trickled down from there.
Wow.
OpTic, though, regaining here. Formal specifically with the perfect shot on Royal 2. Has Frosty lined up as well. Snakebite pushing him down that long haul. Sensing attention through the middle of the map. Thinks he has a flank on the left, but waits for Frosty instead.
Such a big pick from Formal when it looked like FaZe was playing very disciplined, taking their time, wanted to make sure all 4 were part of it. Immediately erasing one part of that operation on the side of FaZe certainly slowed them down. Still got a couple shots to work with. Thought he could catch that player in midair. Usually pretty easy to hit that shot. That's a shot I'm used to seeing Formal hit, but misses it ever so slightly. Still gets a trade before he dies, but Royal 2 versus Trippy in the 1v1.
Lucid grabs his mic once again. Hands off the sticks, hands on the mic. It's not what you want to see if you're an OpTic Gaming fan. They've done enough to keep this second hill close, but man, it just feels like with the momentum in the last 7 games that if OpTic can't get this hill here, this could be it.
They can afford to take their time a little bit here. Want to make sure that everything is correct. Huge shot from Royal 2. Part of it hits the head. That's why that player did go to 1 shot despite not going down to the perfect kill. Just holding the Royal 2 is just playing gatekeeper back here. He's not going to let anyone get through pipes. He's not going to let anyone go trip stacks for free. He's not going to let anybody go to the sneaky for free. If anyone steps in the hill, he's also got a repulse to work with if somebody comes up here. And I feel like this is kind of a war of attrition during this hill. They're just kind of trying to expend each other's resources, playing so patiently. Love this play here for Royal 2 to be the one to push out this spawn. He's got the sticky grenade repulsor combo, which has gained in popularity recently, and he uses it to get a stick right then and there. And wow, I mean, if they keep making plays like that, this is the last game.
FaZe are suffocating OpTic Gaming as they don't even have a 5 footsteps off spawn. They're lucky to even escape the spawn as Renegade takes down Lucid once again. Lucid sitting at 10 and 9. He's the only member of OpTic Gaming that's positive and Formal. We're going to stop that, but he trades out 3 go down for OpTic Gaming, and now with 2 minutes, down 2-0 Eli, they have to play perfect Halo. Flawless Halo at that, maybe even more.
FaZe is just wrapping around them like an anaconda right now, just suffocating them. There's nowhere to move, nowhere to breathe. They took that hill so patiently. At the same time, they're outslaying them ridiculously throughout, but they're still just not giving an inch. They say, you know what, if we just take as long as possible to cap this hill, and we guarantee it, there's going to be enough time burned off the clock that they're going to have to play perfect afterwards, and it's exactly the position that OpTic's in here.
But because this is the lockdown hill, OpTic could score this without letting too much time go away. Snakebite as the last remains of that camo use. Classic pistol, new combo as well. He waits to make his push, has the communication, has the help now. Royal 2 going over the top left shoulder, and with Royal 2 engaging, so too does Snakebite. But OpTic Gaming aren't going to be able to handle it. 2 go down in the back of A. Formal's the last player alive, and that is so massive because OpTic only needed 1 more second. That is a completely different complexion in this game if we were swapping over to that 4th hill.
If FaZe gets this hill, the tournament's over. It's going to be so important for OpTic to take their time with this push. They've got about 20 seconds to work with here as FaZe crosses the halfway point on the hill. Renegade playing aggressive, wants to take a player out of the equation during the push. Royal 2 is dead, so is Trippy. 3v3 now.
OpTic is so close, but FaZe is too, and with that opening break kill from Snakebite, no, APG Informal with a huge double kill, but Royal 2 answers back with a double kill of his own. Taking down Formal, and if he lands this triple on Trippy, that could be it! That should do it! Royal 2 with the shutdown on OpTic Gaming, and he shut down all hopes. 3-0 FaZe Clan. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't see this happening. Not from what we've seen the last 7 games. They're just playing in such a perfect, flawless manner so far. They're not playing desperate. They're just playing good, organized Halo.
FaZe look like the best version of themselves. OpTic look uncharacteristic. Snakebite just to help put the finishing touches on this game. OpTic Gaming with nothing but desperation in the air for them. Another multi-kill here for Royal 2. Is it another triple? Doesn't matter. As it's all 4 down for FaZe Clan, and they're not going to step foot in that hill. They're going to dwindle this clock in the life force of OpTic.
Yeah, I mean, what the first person that goes down here, yeah, I think that kill right there seals it, because they would have to have broken the setup of FaZe Clan, got into the hill, got all of this time, also rotated to get the next hill. It's just unsurmountable here.
Do FaZe Clan win 8 in a row to win the Halo World Championship? This is unbelievable, Eli. As we tick under a minute on the clock.
If you'll recall, they won the series at the beginning of the day 3-0 against Sentinels. Said, what did I say earlier, Hunter? When FaZe starts winning, they don't stop winning.
Man, that might have been your best call in a tournament that's featured a lot of great calls from the legend Eli the Ninja. That might be the best of them, as FaZe have put together 7 wins in a row, looking at a potential 8 here as OpTic Gaming with their last glimmer of hope here. Royal 2 looking to shut down any hope of it as he hits the jump up to the C platform and continues to play gatekeeper defensively. Every second ticking away is a second closer to FaZe Clan hosting up that World Championship trophy.
You have to imagine this is one of the most annoying hills to be in this position as well. They do finally take it, which means the hill's going to move to the needle areas, but this is one of the hardest hills to cap. It's going to be very easy. If FaZe Clan can get set up in position, they'll be able to gatekeep this hill very easily. The one after this goes bottom middle as well, so OpTic would not only have to be in the hill, but also continually cycle the spawns of FaZe if they're going to possibly come back, but 20 seconds are only left on the clock.
20 seconds left on the clock. Another Camo in the suit of Royal 2. Lucid having to desperate here.
Disrespectful
start sing the swan song for OpTic Gaming as FaZe Clan will make history, becoming the first team in Halo Infinite to not only reset the bracket, but win the Grand Finals too, as FaZe Clan are your 2023 Halo World Champions.
We haven't seen a victory quite as dominant as what we just witnessed. Seemed like we saw, like you said, the best version of FaZe Clan. I feel like a lot of the games during their scrim run where they went 90-4 or whatever the ridiculous stat was.
Dude, it was like 156-17 or something.
I bet a lot of the games look like these last 8 games. Just perfect, disciplined, oppressive Halo. Predicting spawns, taking angles. They figured something out. We said the meta has been solved, but I mean, these guys are the ones that solved the meta. They're playing it flawlessly.
Look at the 3 members of FaZe Clan. They're not going for fist bumps. They're going for that championship trophy. As it looks like only Snakebite and Royal 1 are going to bump before bumping shoulders with more legends as Renegade hoists up another World Championship trophy.
These guys are used to this. Won multiple times throughout Halo 5. The trio without Renegade. Renegade joins them. This will be their first world title together. As the fireworks going off, catch us off guard. Confetti flying. Man, what a moment for these guys. There was no question at all that they were the best team this weekend after that Grand Finals performance.
It's the end of an era with the battle rifle, Eli. What is it the beginning of a new dynasty as FaZe win back-to-back tournaments at one point throughout the season, about the middle mark, lost the last two to SSG and OpTic, and then return here in full form with the Halo World Championship. And after those 2 wins in a row, Eli, it looked like FaZe wasn't going to lose again. Maybe that was the best thing for him.
It made him work a little harder, I think. And over the last couple months, that work has been apparent with their scrim record. They also won the warm-up tournament leading up to this in a nail-biter against Quadrant. Quadrant weren't able to replicate the magic they had then, but FaZe able to replicate the win.
All right, we're going to clear out here. Hand it over to Blaze on the stage for an interview with your world champions. Blaze, take it away.